Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Quietly. It's not. I mean, it's just what it's picking up on the microphone, so it's not going to be great sound. Quietly. Supposed to pause that. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are you having a good morning?
I'm having an amazing morning.
How about all of you all? Are y'all having a good morning?
I'm having a good morning.
Thank you, Paranormal Witch. Oh, and thank you for being here.
I love that. Welcome back to your channel. That is, I love it. It is so awesome. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited as always to do our service. Especially today after doing some good, just really the ritual, but just good people yesterday. That was nice.
Yeah, and I do want to talk a little bit, if you give me 2 to 3 minutes today, about community and what that really means. We hear it a lot, but
I
have some examples and ideas of what community really is. It's been a good week, though, right? Like we've done some pretty cool stuff. Casa Shanti, our get together yesterday.
Yeah. What's really, and I know this is probably not the best thing, but the best thing about this weekend is proof that we should have 3-day weekends.
Yes.
Because just knowing that I don't have to work tomorrow has made this whole weekend just easier.
More enjoyable, no stress.
I'm not struggling to get everything done today, and I've got a lot of work done this week, so housework.
Yeah.
Made me feel good. We got a lot of our ritual blends left, so we're going to be burning a lot of stuff this morning. We actually ended up with a lot of topics, a lot of things to kind of go over. And good morning, Paranormal, and good morning, Dragon Dancer. Welcome in.
Oh, hey, Dragon Dancer.
And yes, we will pick up the Chihuahuas at some point. Absolutely. I'm just saying that.
Oh yeah, we will. This is when we need our friends to be here and rotate the Chihuahuas.
We need to Chihuahua rotation.
Yeah.
Hey, if anybody else comes, we'll have 4 people. Yeah. 4 people, it's 1 Chihuahua each.
Yeah.
And they will stay with you if you hold them. They will not get down.
And we really would like to, we love having Joy here and others either to be involved. We can figure out the Zoom-like structure or how that integrates with YouTube or Discord, or if you're in Southwest Florida coming over, we've got...
I think we could probably figure it out on Discord. If somebody wanted to join, it might take a minute to figure it out, but we'll have to at some point.
I'd love to have Paranormal on if she felt comfortable. Too.
And that can be just audio, But the other thing, I don't know, we could probably do is pull it up on a phone in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
That'd probably be the easiest way, because I don't know how yet to get OBS to function properly with more than 2 people in our setting. Although we probably could just rotate it out and put us as one Discord channel. Yeah, that would work.
That work?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
And I can change the desktop audio. I have it off now, so it won't hear anything that's playing on the desktop, but I can change that. Before we get too far into it, I wanted to say thank you for everybody that hops in here today and kind of shares the day with us, because it's very meaningful to us. Small group. It's never been about, I think we say this every week, it's not about the likes, it's not about the channel growing, it's just about coming on and talking about a couple of things. And listen to it. If it helps your practice out, great. If it doesn't, that's also great. That's how we learn. I know I haven't picked up every single thing I put in my practice. Yeah. And
it's about the time for me, and that's one thing I'm going to talk about later, is the gift that you give of just spending with us, even if it's 5 minutes. It's the gift of time with a busy world now, and it's always been busy relative to the era of time that you lived in, but now it's so rushed and busy. The gift of your time is just awesome.
Yeah, I agree. And our hopefully the music isn't too loud if you can even hear it. We're listening to a little bit of my favorite YouTube music, and that is Herk Nungr, HerkNungr. We have mentioned this multiple times on our channel, but you should check it out. It's really good music. No issues with copyright claims on YouTube and stuff as long as you credit him. And this is off of an album, Kveldsonger. I think it's one of the newer ones that he's done. It's a collection of 6 songs, and it's really nice. Very good, to me, very good meditation music. He also has a live stream where he kind of rotates in Viking music, so you get a lot of like Wardruna, Heilung, Skald, and a bunch of other musicians that are really cool.
Good morning, Ziggy. Thanks for stopping in.
Woohoo!
Hope you're having a good weekend.
Ooh, Ziggy, what are you getting ready for? Because if it's like me, it's just ready for nothing, which is fine. That's allowed.
I don't know. I kind of think Ziggy might be doing something. She didn't seem like she'd be getting ready for nothing.
But that's still okay if that's what you're doing. So some of our topic... Ooh, hopefully I didn't just mess something up. Did I just mess something up? I think so. What did I do?
Yeah, we definitely want to have Dragon Dancer over and on. We want to have Paranormal Witch. We don't have anybody. Hey, if our neighbors want to come and jump on, they'd be welcome too.
Well, I think I just deleted the thing somehow.
Oh.
I don't even know what I was doing.
Can you all hear us?
Thing's still here.
Oh.
Stream's still going.
Oh. Well, I hope it goes just like you guys all planned for it, and I'm sure your aunt will be honored. I'm sorry to read if she has recently passed.
What happened? It says it's right there. Oh, I don't know.
Hey, from the Cauldron Witch, how are ya? From the Cauldron Witch, you are the lovely lady that has we share the same tapestry of the books. Am I right? Did I remember correctly? And it's early for you, isn't it? Like, almost 8. If I'm not mistaken.
All right, we should be back on.
Oh, thank you so much for stopping by. It goes something that's been on my mind, which is community, and then the gift of time, whether it's a minute or a few seconds or 5 minutes. It's time is a rare and valuable commodity nowadays, and we appreciate you and everyone for stopping by and stopping in. Oh my gosh!
Oh, okay.
Your cats get you up at 5.
Woo.
I remember how cute the one was that was shaking hands or paws. Excuse me. Was paw shaking with you? That was so cute.
Shaking hands. All right, our screen should be back up. Sorry about that.
Ziggy said she can see it again. I know. Oh, 7:53. Yeah, I knew it was. I knew it was early.
VJ. Origination. Alright.
Oh, Paranormal Witch, that's early too. 5-7, y'all talking early. Me and my petite don't get up before 8.
That's true.
And she would sleep till 9. And I would probably sleep till 10 if I could.
You would.
But Mystic will not allow that. I'm
He will
quite
not.
sure that he would make some kind of distraction noise or let VG in to ensure that I was up and moving.
That's usually what I do.
I know. I'm not stupid.
You don't have to be stupid, I tell you. I don't hide none of my shit.
I love this few minutes before starting getting just talking to everybody.
Me too.
It's nice.
That's the fun part.
That is the fun part.
That is the fun part.
Oh, well, I could see, yeah, if you had kids,
Yeah,
that would definitely set a routine.
it's a lot of work.
I'm with you, Dragon Dancer.
Oh, we're going to have to check that out.
Oh my
Seen
gosh, yeah, we'll have to check out that YouTube and Facebook. So cute. Woo, 4 a.m. You're on a clock. All right.
So
That's
we're
awesome.
burning some of our leftover Letha blend. Litha. I don't know how to properly pronounce it. I've always said Letha for some reason, but I don't know that many people pronounce it that way. I'm not 100% sure where that comes from, but that's how I say it. So we're excited. We're going to talk a little bit about that blend. I think we talked about it. We made it last time on stream, didn't we? Isn't that what we did last week?
Yes, we did.
Sweet. So we're not going to talk about that one in detail, but we're going to burn the rest of it because we made a lot.
But we need to start working next week, I guess, for our Lunasaw blend.
Yes. Which is even more fire.
Lunasaw is one I really like. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Lunasaw is going to be even more fire, but it's going to be, for me, it's going to be maybe less red and more yellow. So, sunflowers and schist.
I jumped over the cauldron the first time yesterday. That was fun.
I did too.
Did you?
I did, but I didn't jump. I just walked over it.
That was fun.
Well, Cauldron Witch, you know what? They say you should always get your pet spayed. So I'm
What?
assuming maybe you're somebody's pet.
What'd you say? They got us spayed, no kids yet.
I love that. It's hilarious. Oh, man. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We had a great Letha, too. Like, it was nice. I'm so glad that we did that. We really have had a busy weekend. A week of getting stuff done and doing things. So, I mean, today we're going to do quite a few different topics. We got some really cool, but short things, like current events. Like, well, tarot. Since I didn't do a tarot yesterday,
Yes.
because we were going to pull cards last night and we just got to watching the movie, The Midsummer Night's Dream, and we didn't get to really do that. So I'm going to do a quick weekly read today.
Are you going to use one of the new ones?
I am not. I'm going to
Nope.
use my old one, and then we're going to move into the new ones as a separate piece. But then I figured if you wanted to pull from one of yours a couple of cards for the week, that would be cool too. Or you can use my deck. I brought the book for you just in case.
Okay.
And then, but that's just going to be the tarot read for the week. So we'll do that, and then we're going to actually talk about a couple of finds that we got from Casa Shanti in downtown Fort Myers.
Yes. Buy local when you can.
We are going to turn the music off when we start talking, only because it's the same songs on repeat over and over. So I'm going to move this along. Even though, again, HERKNUNGR, you will see that in every one of the outros on our pre-recorded videos that we do. The outro lists him. The intro song in the main introduction that we use is his as well, that, you know, we supported his stream and his music with. So, yeah, so I mean, that's kind of where we are. We're going to talk a little bit about, you know, the moon's next ritual, our ritual we did yesterday, next moon, some ongoing projects, and then I want to go into detail about rituals in general.
Yeah.
I know you want to talk a little bit about community. I want to mention a little bit about the Psychic Witch book and what's been going on with that in the news.
And Paranormal Witch, the fire at the temple.
Yes.
The temple, yes.
We're going to talk about that. And then we've got some cool...
The TST.
Some cool current events like making tea from corn silk and the pythons overrunning the Everglades. We're going to talk about an earthquake in Georgia. Smoking cane toad poison. And trash found on Mars.
Yes.
Ma was making a little noise. I don't know if she's stuck on the couch, probably.
And yes, like Paranormal Witch said, thank you. Happy Father's Day to all fathers, grandfathers, adoptive fathers, stepfathers, and mothers who have been mom and dad both. So happy Father's Day to my mom, because she was both.
Happy Father's Day to your mom, too.
Yeah.
I say happy Father's Day to my dad.
Happy
and my
Father's
grandma.
Day and to your dad and your grandma. Good morning. Yeah, we did a ritual yesterday.
So we did our group ritual yesterday, but we are going to participate in like yesterday we did our own with our small group, our Keith we call it, our tribe.
Oh, I didn't like my stuff.
And then next Tuesday we're actually going to be joining other tribe mates again, doing a small ritual at one of the local shops that we've never been to yet. So that'll be fun.
My hands are burning. My hands are burning.
Do me one favor, too. Can you just check on Mom, make sure she's okay? She's yapping.
Yes, I will. Did you leave her in the chair?
Yeah, but I made sure the table was close enough. Sometimes she's too scared to walk across the table to get back down. And we're going to light our red candle.
For Lita.
For Letha.
And then Luna's side will be orange and yellow, right?
Orange, yellow, yeah, probably blue.
Grainy harvest.
Yeah. It's the first, I think the first harvest, isn't it? The first main harvest.
Well, it's a big one.
Yeah. And that's my birth month.
Birth month.
Uh,
Come on, little witchy. I'll go check my petite. Oh, what's going on here?
let's give it a minute. It'll be fine. You got the air vent right there. It's kind of blowing down across.
Let me check mine. I'll be right back.
So we still have a ton. You probably can't see it because you're too far away. We have a solid amount of our Letha blend. Maybe she's just licking her hoo-ha and she squeals when she does that. Maybe she's excited.
I would be if I could lick mine.
Minimize that to make sure everything's ready to go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start though. I think if we're ready to go, it's 2 after. I wanted to start with tarot.
Fur dads.
Again because fur dads are awesome.
Oh, thank
That's
you,
sweet.
Ziggy.
Thanks. So I didn't do a weekly what?
I just wanted to turn quickly because I know that puts you at unease.
It
I haven't done it in a while.
It does. So you can find something that you know I don't like or enjoy, and you capitalize upon it.
Well, I just do isn't that what you do? Capitalize.
Almost knocked me out of my chair. Anyway, since we didn't do a weekly tarot yesterday, I wanted to pull a couple cards this morning of a deck that I don't know that I've shared in a long time with anybody, but this is the most important deck in this house to me.
Steampunk?
It is my steampunk, completely worn, edges chewed, dog teeth marks.
Yeah.
Tried and true, always, forever my favorite deck. Just always has been. It's one that I have 3 large copies and 3 small copies of, just in case it ever goes out of print, because it is a deck that has spoken to me, continues to speak, and it's always been just a big part for me. I don't know why. It's just the imagery is perfect, and it's not even really that steampunk like in the imagery. It's just a great deck, and it's been something that I felt really comfortable with for at least the last, I'd say, 5 or 6 years. Maybe not quite that long. If you hear little demonic noises, that's Finn.
Yeah. Fin Demon.
Findemon.
Findemon. He's probably more a demon.
So we're just going to go through with some generic, energies for the week. This is my private deck, but I will show it. I mean, if you want to show it up, you can. And then Rook, if you want to pull some, you can. Oh, well, dear Lord Jesus, that's not a fun pull.
Tell me when you want me to display them.
So we've got the 3 of Swords. If you want to display them, thank you.
Well, what's going to pierce our hearts?
Yeah, and the thing is, with the 3 of Swords,
well, how come I can't see it like normal?
because I have the thing down.
Oh.
Hold on, let me fix it for you.
Yeah,
since
I appreciate
there you go. Now you can see it.
I appreciate all manners of
Hi, baby.
convenience towards myself.
Oftentimes the 3 of Swords is spoken of as the heartache card, right? So this is, like Rook said, what's going to pierce your heart today? And while that's true, heartache doesn't just mean relationship heartache.
But this heart looks tough.
Well, it's because it's steampunk.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to represent the complexity of the heart. The heart's not something that's simple. And the daggers obviously get in there and stick through it, but it can be healed. That's one thing to always remember about the heart. But in our general read, like for me as a group, this really means we got to pay attention and protect ourselves a little bit more than normal. If I was reading for a person who had a specific question, my guess, and I do read more intuitively than I do from the book, but my guess would be we would be talking about difficult times with a relationship. And now, if you know, right now we are currently in, I think the moon. Finn, stop chewing the side. Think, Finn. Finn. Dog is chewing like a dresser stand. But anyway, so it would be a little bit more about perhaps a relationship or something like that. But as a general, talking about the energy of the world, we're in a good place right now, right? And so to me, the 3 of Hearts, of course, you can't see my other 2 cards too, which altered a little bit. I'm going to show you in a minute. But when you kind of look through the whole process, we're really talking about protecting yourself and not walling off so that nobody can come in this week or this energy field that we're in, but really just protecting yourself and making sure a boundary is up. We've been talking a lot about boundaries lately, but just make sure that boundary is around, so it's there and you're able to protect yourself from things that may be looking to cause you harm. All right, and what is altering this 3 of Hearts, 3 of Swords, is the Queen of Pentacles. And so again, when we talk about doing a tarot read for the week and you're looking at general energy, you have to look at individual cards, but also the whole group of cards together.
She looks bougie.
She is bougie. That's the whole purpose of the Queen of Pentacles, right? She has the finer things in life. She knows what she wants, and she's going to get them. And it reminds me of a video that I saw the other day, and it's from a very popular movie, and I cannot remember the movie. It's a very old movie. It's black and white, and the female lead character is talking to the future husband's dad. And future husband dad says, "You're only marrying him for his money." And she's, "No, I'm marrying him for your money." And so he gets mad and says, "How dare you, Bob?" She said, "Well, do you have a daughter? And wouldn't you want that daughter to have the finest things and marry somebody who could support her and have everything for her?" And he goes, "Yes." All right then, right? And so that's the Queen of Pentacles. She has what she needs, and now she's working for it because Queen of Pentacles always work for their stuff. But she's looking at it and responding to the finer things in life, which is good because our 3 of Swords has now taken on a more physical approach, a more protective approach, right? So Pentacles, Earth, North, protection. Those are things that are generally held together. Those are general symbols of each other, right? If you're looking for strong protection, well, you talks about it in the tarot book, right? You're looking for protection, you go north, right? So she's putting north into this. She's putting protection into this, so protect your heart, and that's where that comes from.
Sweet.
And then the Five of Cups, which is why I said, oh Lord. The Five of Cups is you have a few minutes this week to drown out something that's really hurting you. But that's it. You gotta cut it, feel bad about it, give yourself some space and allow yourself to be upset or frustrated, and then move the F on.
Look at what you still got.
Yeah, so the Five of Cups really speaks about, I don't want to say wallowing in self-pity.
She got 2 more full cups.
Yeah, but look at all the ones he's drunk. He is drowning his sorrows away, and it just, you can do that. You need to do that sometimes. You need to take a break and protect your heart and your stuff. But then you gotta move on for it. When he's done, he's gonna have to move on to that. The other thing that's important about this particular Five of Cups is the bartender. So if you are somebody who frequents a specific place, right? You go to a bar. We all know if you've become friends with a bartender, especially if you're like me when you're traveling out of town. I know the bartenders in different hotels in different states, in different areas, and they talk, and you become friends with them, and they become a little bit of a therapist sometimes. So he is too drunk to listen to his comment. He is too drunk to follow through with what's happening, but that is okay. He's having a really rough time. The point of the matter is you're eventually going to have to pick your head up, you have to listen, and you have to leave the bar, and you have to go back to real life. So do a little bit of protection this week. Listen to your inner Queen of Pentacles and pay attention to those protections. Your heart is where it's going to be seated, so this is the kind of protection we're looking for. And then remember to allow yourself to feel, but don't live there. Move on once you've processed it. So yes, that looks like a lot of people's week, I think, this week, but thank you. So that's kind of the general. Since we didn't get a chance to actually do a read this week, I wanted to kind of go through that a little bit. Protection, protection, protection. That's what we're doing this week. And I don't know did you want to pull in cards for this, or do you want to wait until we do our pulls at the end like we've been doing?
Do we feel like we need a clarifier, or is it clear enough?
That's up to you.
I can pull the clarifier.
You want to pull from this deck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not this stuff.
I'm just going to shuffle it a couple times for you from mine. The one cool thing I really like about this deck is it is so incredibly readable by the imagery. And while it does not mimic Rider-Waite, it definitely follows the process.
Well, so Paranormal Witch...
We know.
Is that within 2 weeks? In 2 weeks? Like 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, Mercury retro really has kind of thrown stuff off, and then now we're back into gibbous moon in Pisces, so we're all feeling a little bit of, energy expansion and emotional expansion, so that can be a little rough. Although right now things seem pretty balanced, I think. We need to be a little reserved, I think, and that's probably where that protection Three of Swords is really being reserved. When you're doing your protection to prevent something from happening. And the Queen of Pentacles is always a really great card to me because I'm all about the Pentacles for my signs. I like stability, I like Earth. But the Queen throws a little bit into that. She might be the depiction of all things Pentacles, but she pushes. Huh. Ooh, my second favorite card in the deck.
So, Miss Willow, this might be for you.
That might be for you.
Hey, girl. She is High Priestess is saying work it, and you'll get through the process of what you're doing.
The number one thing she says to me, you remember?
Work it, work it, work it.
Do not take shortcuts.
Skip steps.
Yes. She does not want you to take shortcuts. You can work your magic. You're going to do great magic. You know all the things. You have all the secrets, and everything that you need to know is already in your head.
Don't skip studying a part because you think you got it. Look through.
Go back through it.
Go back through it, Miss Paranormal Witch, and you'll be fine.
And do you meditate, Paranormal Witch?
She's saying work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, work it.
I love the now in I forgot the B and J in the original cards. The Rider-Waite now has a very specific representation. I forgot what it was off the top of my head, but the thing I like about the High Priestess is she embodies the Empress energy, but she's not to fruition yet. So she'd be like the mother of the maiden mother, or the maiden of the maiden mother crone. She's not bared. She's not anything other than making the magic that she wants to make, and she knows that you have to take it step by step.
And she's the mother part that's nurturing, but not as nurturing. She's saying, like the mom would say, you better be sure you do this, be sure you brush your teeth, be sure you do that. That's her.
Take it. And so meditation is one of the probably most beneficial things in my life, period, ever in this world.
Ooh,
but
got some good smokage.
Yeah, I put too much.
No, I love it. Makes me feel good.
So when you do that meditation, I don't know if you do the visualizations too, but just visualize yourself sitting down with that test and acing it, and going through the process and taking your time, checking yourself. Don't second guess yourself. That's a big mistake in testing. Do not. You can question yourself, you can want to review, and you can validate, but when you're taking a test, you never want to second guess once you've decided. So me and I don't know if I've even talked to Rook about it, but I'd like to start doing a couple of recorded guided meditations on different things that we've learned that have worked. At least, oh my God, my hand hurts. So
from the Cauldron Witch, I hope Mr. Phoenix is okay and feels better, and also Kismet. Yeah, that's. I know what you mean about the animals, and it seems like it can at times always be something. I hope they're both okay.
Yeah, that's really sad. It's always something. All right. So let's talk Letha. Oh, Letha. No, let's not talk Letha yet.
No Letha?
No, we're supposed to open up the new decks we got next.
Oh, cool. Well, here, I did not even split a seam of the wrapping for this one. I did get
they're
this
both
one
mine,
started.
so.
We'll see. So the two decks. So we went to
Shanti Shanterdo.
To Casa Shanti, as Mystic is singing so lovely, and it's a local. It is a shop, but I think cute. It's more of a. He is kind of cute. A like gathering place, and we heard Joy do a talk on druids in the modern world.
I like to call it a spiritual center almost, but that just sounds too like new age. And nothing wrong with new age, but it just sounds too like the rec center. You're going to play basketball at the rec center. You're going to do meditation at the spiritual center. I guess that works. But it's this cute little house we've never been before in downtown Fort Myers with lots of really cool gyms and stuff. But more than anything, seating areas, a place to sit down and talk. And I'm telling you, I didn't get on the floor, and I kind of wish I would have, because I think that does something to you. But
I always
just sitting in that circle. Just sitting in that circle, like impromptu with people I know and people I don't know, that was really nice. And thank you to Joy for that. I don't know that she's in here, but it was very nice. It's right here. You can see.
But so in that,
what purpose?
We found two decks and other items.
I pointed out two decks, and then he decided to act like he only saw one, and then wanted the other for himself. At
this local store that I'd never seen before at other stores or online. So when you can, if you have the means and available to, go to and support your local businesses if you can, because you just might find some gems
for sure
that you can't find elsewhere. So we found, before we get into those, can I show them the Florida water that was locally sourced and made in Florida? This is Goddess Pea's Florida water.
It's so pretty. The bottle is just gorgeous.
And the bottle is freaking gorgeous. So I don't know if you can see through it, all the herbs
Turn it around.
And cinnamon.
Yeah. Now hold it, just like twist it to the left a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
But this is what you get at local places. Things that are just unique and that someone's put their time and energy into, and it's sealed with a wax seal. And it's absolutely, I don't even want to open it, but
I don't think we ever will.
but I feel like I kind of want to use this at some point.
I want to go buy another one and then use the other one to keep one never opened.
But this is all about local people, whether it's a shop, you know, your friend on Instagram, and the wax is kind of melting with my body heat. I love it. Makes me feel connected to this Florida water. This is what you get when you
when you go local.
And support people in it. It may be a little bit more because people don't mass produce this stuff, but I think it's worth it if you're able to pay a little more and support your local business.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep those local metaphysical shops and friends of ours and business. Let's support
100%
them.
agree.
Sorry,
Absolutely.
I just wanted to show how pretty this Florida water was. It was very witchy.
It does. It's really nice too. Speaking of it, just to respond real quick to Cauldron Witch, I'm glad Phoenix is doing well. We know your pain with that number. We did the same thing with our Lexi when we had her. I mean, surgeries up until 2, 3, 4 in the morning and all things that we'd never expected to have. But she also was told she would live 2 years, and she lived 10 before she passed. So it's worth it. They can't help it. But that is sad. It's always sad, but lucky that they have somebody that's willing and able to make those improvements or decisions for them that can help them be comfortable, you know? So, it is sad. It makes me think of Lexi.
Yeah. You do everything you can for your babies.
Like, we were ready to mortgage the house, sell the car, doesn't matter. You kind of have to. Who's licking my toes? I bet you it's Finn.
Probably. It is Finn.
Hi, Finn. He's licking my feet. Oh, that's weird. But yes, I'm glad he's okay, and hopefully, other one, Kismet, I think I saw.
Kismet.
Hopefully gets cleared up and taken care of, because that's never fun. Finn has got this coughing, sneezing thing, which we think is congenital, and maybe has some allergies, but he's doing it so much, like he barely gets a chance to break. But anyway, that's our doggos, and our animals probably can't do anything, or wouldn't do anything for them. Wouldn't not do anything. You know what I mean.
Wouldn't do anything.
Would do anything for them.
Yes. Let's talk about these decks.
You're going to get us kicked off of YouTube. All right, who wants to go first?
I'm interested to see about the Osset Gypsy Tarot.
So this is the first one that I saw.
I'll show them.
You will when I give you the stuff.
Oh, this medication helps in so many ways.
Don't get confused. Now you may take this.
Thank you.
So this is I don't even know how to pronounce it properly, but my guess is Osset Gypsy Tarot. Full book. One of the things that I'm already noticing I like about the book that's different is usually when you get these books, they're super glossy image quality, super glossy. Well, these have like this matte, almost classic tattoo-like imagery to them. It looks pretty cool, but they're relatively modernized, which I like too.
Ooh, this might be mine.
Other thing that I'm noticing is the numbers are completely different. Like, things are in a little bit, well, not completely, but they're in different orders. If anybody who knows me, my 2 favorite cards in the deck, Rook, do you know who my 2 favorite cards in the deck are? Let's see if he knows who I am.
That's not nice. 2 favorite cards.
There is, just real quick, before I answer that, Paranormal, there is the Gypsy fortune telling cards, which are the little red box. They're really cool. I like them. I have to buy another deck though because VG ate them, and the ripped carton is sitting up on my table. So that might be those. These weren't that expensive either. Of course, we did get them from local, so they're probably more, again, from the mass market. But they're just really cute cards. Like, I like them.
I say the Tower is one of your favorites.
It is not.
It's not.
I have two favorite majors, and I have two favorite minors.
Well, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm. You don't know me.
And Mystic thinks this guy is cute.
He is.
He is cute.
He is cute. I didn't say I wanted to, like, drag his bones or anything. I said he's cute.
Do you want to read their description of it?
I am. I'm going to read their description, but before I do, I'm going to tell you my two favorite cards. They're side by side.
Okay.
They're not opposing representations, but they can be opposing energies.
The Empress and the High Priestess.
Nope.
Nope. Don't know.
High Priestess is one of them. The Magician and the High Priestess.
Ah. So I did get one.
After 3 tries and some goading.
No. Two. I had 2 tries.
Oh, good. So you admit that you didn't get it on the first.
That's right.
You don't know me. So, it's an interesting High Priestess card. Now, the reason I like the Magician and the High Priestess card is because just these 2 cards together
Hey, Joy!
are the representation of doing all magic. The Magician knows all, manifest. And the High Priestess is don't take shortcuts. Something that I've had to learn in my life that I do a lot. You can move faster and you can validate things and process quicker and adjust your flow and be more efficient. But that's not a shortcut. A shortcut is cutting things out that are necessary to do something quicker. And she always says, don't do that. So those are my 2 favorite major arcana cards. And I am going to give you until next week before I ask you which are my 2 minor arcana favorite cards.
The High Priestess and the Magician.
Yep. And they're really cute cards.
Huh.
I especially love the High Priestess in the...
Ooh, these are edged in gold.
Yep, you want to talk about that too. I especially like the High Priestess in the Steampunk Tarot just because she looks like she's right out of a movie and be like, look, bitch, get your shit together and do your shit. What do you want to know? I'm going to tell you. It's going to be honest. It's going to be real. But this is it. They're also gold foil edged, and they are a really good card, like real card stock.
You can see the gold.
Which is kind of shocking because a lot of them lately have not had that actual card stock, so I'm really glad that this has that.
And the backs are really nice.
Yeah. This is a really cute deck I'm going to play around with. Ooh, I just looked at the Empress. She got a big titty hanging out.
Thank you, Casa Shanti.
So yes, Joy, welcome. And this is one of the ones we got from Casa Shanti. I'm very excited. I've never seen this one before. So I'm very happy to add this to my collections. Both of them.
Really? I heard that.
I know you heard it.
You mean both of these cards, not that.
Well, what's really fun or really neat is whenever I get tarot decks and I know that Rook is going to like them, I buy 2 because I have to have my own.
He does. I gotta give him credit for that.
Not that we need 2.
He kind of looks Patrick-esque, this magician. He looks like he has some Patrick Leprechaun energy.
I'm going through the minor arcanas for the first time, and I'm noticing these are original style minor arcanas. That is pretty cool. And what I mean by original style minor arcanas is that they're more playing card style. So when the 2 of Wands is literally just 2 wands. And I think that that's pretty nifty. Not my favorite style because I like the imagery, but it really speaks to using tarot from an intuitive standpoint, right? So you pull up the 10 of, well, I don't even know if it's flowers, I'm going to look that up, but you pull up the 10 of discs. This is going to be whatever the discs is. And there's 10 discs on it, and you have to interpret that, and that's gives you a little bit less energy, a little bit more energy to do when you don't have all those images there for you, so... this definitely looks like a deck that I would take to a public function and read from. Very, very cool, very good for, it looks like maybe be really good for younger generational readers or newer readers. But very, very like together. I like it. You will want to go back, Joy, and read the first couple of minutes when you get a chance. We did it since I didn't do tarot yesterday. We did a weekly read on here today. It was the 3 of Swords Queen of Pentacles, Five of Cups. So it was a pretty harsh. Get your shit together, protect. Allow yourself to feel the pain or the issue, and then move on from it. Kind of read. So pretty good. But I'm going to read the back of this to you, just if anybody's interested. Fall in love with the tarot all over again with the Alset Gypsy Tarot, a bohemian metaphysical experience. Here, the timeless story of the major and minor arcana is woven in a romantic yet modern style by published astrologer and international tarot reader James Joko Pieri. With original illustrations by Rebecca Stotzenberg and Heather Scott, this full 78-card deck and accompanying guidebook provides the reader and querent with powerful astrological symbols, mythic secrets, and mystical know-how to unlock their third eye as they seek spiritual insight. While inspired by the familiar tradition of the tarot, the Alset Gypsy deck reintroduces the characters of all the cards in a personalized way, for meditation, artistic inspiration, and personal development. Allow yourself to venture into an exciting and magical landscape that combines the old-fashioned feel of traditional decks with a colorful and contemporary flair. The Alset Gypsy is ready to read your story. Let the adventure begin.
Oh.
I like this deck. This is really cool. Yes,
like
Five of
that.
Cups again.
Five of Coops.
If you go back and watch me when I'm actually pulling the card, you'll be like, oh, I kind of shitted something. I don't remember what I said, but we recognized it right away. I was like, well, that sucks. I don't remember what it was. So this is really cool. If you want this deck, let me know. I'll have to buy a second copy of it for you.
I like the imagery.
The minor arcana is different.
Yes.
Yeah, see, the minor arcana is not imaged. It's collected.
Oh, cool.
There's a word for it. I forgot. But yeah. So this is very exciting. I'm going to have to read from it at some point. I'm probably not going to do that today since I did a read, but very cool.
This imagery... I'm sorry. May I?
That's okay, yeah.
Okay. The imagery on the back of this deck, the Pagan Ways Tarot, is what made me grab it, and I'll show it to you. But the Pagan Ways Tarot by Anna Franklin, it says, become initiated into the realities of your own psyche and become your guide to spiritual enlightenment. There are unseen other worlds overlapping our own, populated by gods and goddesses, nature spirits, and elementals. For the pagan, everything has a soul or spiritual essence. This deck is based on the pagan worldview, its symbols and teachings, and offers 78 beautiful cards featuring gods and goddesses. An accompanying guide tells the story of the Fool as he journeys through the minor and major arcanas, encountering the forces that shape him and each one of us. The myths of the gods create links between cards, between the majors and minors, and between the inner and outer paths we walk. And when I saw the image on the back of the box, it's what grabbed me to
it reminds me of Hylam.
Yes.
The way that they dress on stage.
And how it said, the pagans, everything has a soul or spiritual essence. So here's the front. It's the Pagan Ways Tarot. Trying to get the glare out a little bit. But the back image is what really pulled me in. I love that job that he's got.
Go get it.
That's the dream job for me. He's communing with all the animals.
That is a dream job, I think, for everybody.
So let's see what we got. Unboxing the Pagan Ways Tarot. If I can get it open.
Pagan Ways.
Oh, and it's really pretty.
Yeah, it's a pretty box.
When you open it up, this is what you see. The rays of the sun. Which is nice for Lipa.
And can y'all hear him when he's talking to the camera? I'm just curious. Because, it's still going. I just want to make sure. I'm not being funny. Why are you laughing?
Huh, this will be interesting. I have to smell everything. I'm a book smeller. Alright, let's take a look at these cards. Let's see if they've got them lighted up any kind of way.
Okay, thank you, Paranormal.
What?
She said she could hear you fine. I just wanted to make sure because it was hard to tell.
Okay.
I love the books.
Something's jumping out at me. 4 of Wands, Harmony.
You said wands.
So this
I'm so
this
excited.
deck, I can already tell you, it's a little bit different. It has and it's very coated with, I don't know what you would call it. I don't like that coating personally.
Like the gloss wax.
The gloss wax, it makes it harder for me to shuffle, but let's take a look and see what the cards are like.
Maybe we're gonna have to have like shuffling practice.
Let's see a little bit and see what we got. So it definitely has, I can see the celebrations, Lunasaw, Yule as some of the cards corresponding with the numbers. The sweet suits. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's see if there's a... Okay, there's a major arcana. Oh, rebirth, that'd be the world, right? No, that's the world.
It'd be judgment.
Oh, the magician. That's kind of cool. High priestess.
Oh, I like that. It's High Priestess Celine.
I do kind of like this. Like
Yes.
these two.
The 4 of Wands is definitely a good card
I'll just show
to
those.
discuss.
Actually, I rather like these cards. I'm going to show you a couple. I'm going to see how they do their...
The thing I always remember about the 4 of Wands, for me, for some reason it comes in my brain as the 4 of Walls. 4 walls is the structure that will hold up the house. So everything is balanced and equal and even so that it's much stronger because it's in 4s.
This is a very different way of doing the cards. 3, the lady. Empress. I actually like this a lot.
It's different.
It is different.
I'm not a huge fan of superimposition cards. Oh, that's a pretty 3 of Swords.
Yeah.
And by superimposition, I mean like where you have a ethereal drawn background with a photographic-like visual person. One of the things that's just not my favorite types of imagery.
I want to find
But they're
the
done really
tower.
well. They're done really well on these.
Because the tower is one of my favorite ones. The Lord, that's the high priest, I guess. Or the,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Elder? No, wait a minute. He might, let's see.
This is the Emperor. That's the Hierophant. This is,
Strength,
so the Elder is Hierophant. The Lord is the Emperor.
the Hermit. Weird? What is word?
So this would be probably Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
So word is the, oh yeah, this is definitely word. The web of word. You can call it word. Some people call it weird. I call it weird actually. I don't know why I changed it to word because of the Y. But the web is basically the interconnectedness of all things. No matter where you pluck on that web, it's felt all over no matter what. So that would probably be the Wheel of Fortune, I would guess.
Let me pick out a couple just to show you all. The imagery, that's a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
Oh,
this
that drives
one.
me nuts.
What? Me plopping them?
Bending the corner
Ah!
when you put them down. Oh, I have a thing. That is a peeve. Oh, shadow work. Why do I hate that? That's better. This is how you do shadow work, y'all. You tell your shadow to do things differently, and it does them differently.
I'll show those. Rebirth.
He's ignoring me completely.
20.
Smart.
What would that be? 20.
I already told you. That's judgment.
I like this one. Okay, I just want to show.
I would think. I could be wrong. I
some
don't
of
know.
These cards.
That's usually where judgment would be.
Just so you can see the imagery, which I kind of didn't know if I'd like it, but I kind of do.
Yeah, the more you use it, the more I like it too, because that's not my normal style.
So I think the Fool is kind of cute. It's a little kid jumping off a...
It reminds me of freaking Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that smells so good. You smell that? That's our Letha blend leftovers.
I love the Magician because he's got his hands like directing the energy. I don't know, can you see that? How
Yep.
He's got his hands.
That's one of my favorite cards. And let's do this. Like I know we're going slow today just because we are, but let's think about setting up our other camera so we have a space, tarot space. We'll do that for next week.
And I love the Empress, the lady. Can you guys see this? This is a beautiful card. I could definitely work with these cards.
Yeah.
I think. Could definitely try. Death. Death is one of my favorite cards too. Death and the Tower, I think, are a couple of my favorite.
Death is really cool because it always, when you are reviewing a deck, if you've noticed, I always pull out Death and Devil. Those are the two cards that I always pull because that tells you, to me, a lot about what the deck is about. The Tower is probably a really good one too.
I love the birds, the storm, lightning, the waves crashing.
And think about the imagery, and you just, I gotta be careful, you just kick the camera off.
Oh, did I? Is it way off?
Not enough to worry about. I just don't want you to trip.
The Five of Swords, defeat. I'm actually digging this.
Yeah, that's neat. I just bought a copy.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
The Nine of Cups. You know, you can. It's definitely easy to interpret.
Yeah.
The imagery and unlock your unconscious.
The big thing with those, like, and I think we've talked. Don't take that one off yet. I like that one. I want to mention a couple things on the Nine of Cups. One of the things that's really interesting about these cards that have the words on them, that's another thing I'm not a big fan of, right? I'm not a big fan of the words on the card as far as like abundance or enlightenment or blah, 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 because it can tend to lock you into a meaning when that's not necessarily the only thing is, because abundance can be very bad. If you have an abundance of things that are not good for you, it's not a good process. So really that it doesn't speak to the true nature of the Nine of Cups or nines in general. It's, you know, you're at a part in the process of an emotional transition that you're going through or an emotional journey you're going on, and you're about to get to the end of it. That can be sad just as much as it can be fulfilling. So it is a cauldron, which, like you're saying, transformation and change right at the end of that process, because when a process ends, what do you have to do? You start another one. And so that abundance is abundance, and it does reference abundance for sure. But if you're a new reader, you have to be very careful that you don't lock yourself into that meaning of just abundance. Sorry, I just wanted to kind of show that out there.
I love this one. Two of Pentacles. Can you see the pentacle in the sky and in the ground?
It's pretty, yeah. I'm kind of the same way, Cauldron Witch, but I know once I've seen that word on there, it's really hard for me to forget it when I'm using that deck. But I think they're helpful overall to many people. It's not my favorite way.
Check out this Three of Swords.
Yeah, that's pretty. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention about the Tower. When you had the before you go to the next one, the Tower card that you had up.
Yeah, you want to put it back?
Well, no, you don't have to. But one of the images in there is you have crashing waves, right? So crashing waves represent destruction, but also the clearance of things. So the Tower transformation, the Tower change, the breakdown of things. But the birds were really interesting to me because not all towers include the birds in the deck, in the actual tower. So to me, I often kind of think of that as adding an additional complexity to the tower of the communication. Perhaps your higher and your lower self are not communicating properly to each other, and that's the breakdown that you need to do. So I think that gives it a much more internalized tower. It's really pretty. I like that image.
The Ace of Pentacles. And I just love a pentacle in anything. Anyway.
Maybe that's why you like me.
Maybe Earth.
That's my suit.
I really love them. And a lot of these that I just picked out had to do with work, but Three of Pentacles. Or maybe just because I like the pentacles. That's probably why. It shows about work in the process. And
yeah. I like that.
So the only comment I would say that I'm not wild about these cards, I love the imagery, is the coating.
The glossy gloss.
The glossy, but otherwise...
Yeah, that'll wear off if you use them a lot.
Oh, why didn't I show this one? Oh, this was my favorite. This is the image on the back of the card, the Lord.
The back of the box, you mean?
High Priest. Is that him? Or Emperor?
Yeah. I often think of the tower as it's a major arcana, so it's supposed to represent major life issues, but the tower always, to me, has always represented more internally conflicting things and messages. I think the bird just makes it even more internal for me.
You want to look at him a little?
That's cool. No, I'm good. I'm going to look at him later, I'm sure. Tower is a good card. I like that one. The tower in the steampunk is very harsh.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's the tower in your card. It really looked like almost like, yeah, it's the tower, but it's a storm that I wouldn't mind being in that lighthouse for.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But in the steampunk, it's like you don't want to be anywhere near it.
And these are a little bigger size than a standard card.
Yeah.
It's kind of like not
almost
as big
Oracle
as the,
card size.
almost Oracle card size. Yeah. Well, I like both of these decks, so they're definitely good picks.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
So that's our unboxing.
So we're gonna, if I remember, we'll post some follow-up pictures and some things. But look, I do buy a lot of stuff. Yeah, flaming arrows. Yeah, that's 8 of Wands for sure. I do pick a lot of stuff up on Amazon because there's a lot of things that local areas just don't have. But if you have the opportunity at local stores, you should always get them there.
Yep.
Yes, the tower card definitely. It always makes me chuckle a little bit when people get upset with the tower card. I'm like, no. How about the Ten of Swords? Let's go there. Ten of Swords, 3 of Hearts, 5 of Swords, 5 of Cups. All of those are deeper, painful meanings to me than the tower ever will be. Because tower is almost an accepted part of life, and it needs to be. So you know.
So is I like
5
death.
cents. Yeah, death too.
I like death and the devil. Death, the devil, and the tower.
Devil's a good one. I like the devil because it reminds you that you're in control of your own destiny, not something else. Other things may influence it, but you are in control of it. My opinion again.
Hear you with me.
What I really love is like hearing how different people are interpreting some of these. That's really cool. I appreciate that cauldron, which I love to see that. The different interpretations, the different ideas, because it's just so nice. There's so many different ways to read. But we're going to talk next about something that I think is really cool, and that is Litha.
Litha.
Litha. Litha. Litha. Litha. Litha. Litha. Litha and Litha. We want to talk for just a few minutes about last night. We did our Litha ritual yesterday because it's the weekend and it's easier to do some of these things on the weekend. Plus, Tuesday we'll be visiting with Joy at Cosmic Connections, also in Fort Myers.
And Anna.
And Anna for sound healing. We're really excited for that because we get to do 2 Litha rituals.
And Anna has
year.
got the healing touch, let me tell you.
She's got the healing sound, not touch. Yeah. Well, maybe she has the healing touch too. I don't know. She definitely has the healing sound, for sure. But, so it's really nice to do it. But, so for Litha yesterday, a couple of things that we noticed. We did a ritual at our house here in Cape. And really enjoyed just the energy felt very Litha-like. It was very jovial, light, not a lot of difficulty. It rained hard. Joy played in the rain. That was awesome.
Oh, yes.
We got the tree decorated up, and let me tell you, that was a lot of freaking work getting all that together last week because we had neglected our little Fay orchard there for a minute.
And I want to thank you publicly for doing all that work in the yard and
that's creepy.
On the Fay garden. I appreciate you.
Aww.
It looks amazing.
It felt good to do, it felt good to actually do yard work again, but not good enough for me to continue doing it because, I don't get a lot of time at home. So that's going to be fixed. But point being was, if you are able to get out into even the smallest group of people to do anything ritual with, it always raises the power of it, the energy of it. There's no doubt. And you don't have to worry about, messing up a line or doing something different. You do what calls to you. Now, granted, it's always good, especially for a Virgo, to have a plan and have things kind of mapped out to a degree. But of course, when things don't always go exactly how they want to, there's nothing wrong with that. I just want some more of this. It smells good. So I'm going to talk about it. But so it really, that feels good too, nice and cool.
It does. It smells good and feels good.
I forgot to use it yesterday. But anyway, the point being, the ritual is almost less important than just the community of group. I love doing ritual. I've always done the majority of my rituals privately. I'm not a big fan of group rituals, just in my own personal practice. Not saying that I dislike them or that I didn't enjoy yesterday. I'm just saying it's not my normal. So it's either a very large group or myself. So having a small group was a different experience. It was nice. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and what I enjoyed the most, again, is just the community doing something. Just hanging out, like getting in the pool. We watched a movie. We ate a lot of junk food, I would say, almost, except for the fruit. Although that can be junk food once you've eaten like 8 pounds of it. Because, man, I ate a lot of that pineapple before I put it on the plate.
And that is one thing I wanted to talk about, community. So what's the technical definition? One of them, a group of people living together in one place, especially one practicing a common ownership. And I've heard a lot of talk about community, but I just wanted to say what it has meant to me. It can be getting together. That is awesome. But it can also be, I'm just checking on each other. So things that I'm appreciative of the community that, or communities that I interact with is, one, Melvin, Unexplained Possibilities. Remember a couple weeks ago that I asked him what he was doing to lose weight, and he was on a diet, and he sent me a detailed message yesterday. I thought that was nice. That took time and energy to respond. We're all so busy now that it would be just as easy to not chalk it up to I'm busy, right? Mm-hmm. Paranormal Witch, her, texts during the week to check in and check up. That's community. Joy checking up, just her time. And we'll show them a little later, but Joy gifted us from the medicine wheel 2 stones that were painted with our birth months. She also did, what do you call that? It's beautiful.
The Cypress knee dragon?
The Cypress dragon, which we'll show. That's community. That's time.
This is community.
Dragon dancer who painted a sign and brought to gift to the people at our gathering yesterday.
Oh, I'm still holding it here like this is where the stuff is.
Dragon dancer painted a dragon stone. These are all things of community. Going out and supporting someone in your community.
And not that I'm starting to learn that I do have some creativity in my body, but that's not where I'm expressed best. So my best expression as a Virgo is a place to community. We gotta activate that, but yes.
So it is getting together. It is doing things together. That's so important. I think our interactions, especially after the lockdowns and stuff we've been through, but it's also that text. It's also making something. It's those check-ins, and to me, that's what community has been. And I appreciate you all. Ziggy's checked on me before. It's that kind of stuff that's community.
Yeah, I agree.
Not just gathering in a podcast, which is great. That is community too. But it's those little things like that I appreciate very much.
I agree. And so when we talk about community, it's more than just a group of people or living in a place where other people live.
Or sharing ideas.
And we talked a little bit about this yesterday too, about the idea of the small clans, right? It's the small loose associations between different groups of people that we allow to foster positively that matter. I don't have to be in every group, but in the group that I'm in, that group should be community organized, oriented, and facing to a place where it's comfortable with other groups that are also available. So it's important that when we do community or we talk community that we recognize that it's not just us. It's not just the people in our small groups. It's many. And I think that's one of the reasons why we have so much trouble and why we've lost our way a lot of times. Just as a grand discussion, a grand theme. So.
And I should ask before, I'm trying to be better about that. Dragon Dancer and Joy, are you okay with us showing the things that you prepared and made?
Yep.
I'll let them answer before I show them a bit.
Yeah, and it's just to have the thought of somebody thinking to create something that came out of their own mind or their own hands, and kind of gifting that to us and really it's to the land, but to us as a unit, it's really nice. It's very meaningful. It's more meaningful than anything you could buy.
Yeah, it's your time and your energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome from the Cauldron Witch.
There you
go. Thank you, Dragon Dancer. That's awesome from the Cauldron Witch.
Yeah, we actually have a Discord for our little group too. A couple of them actually.
The Keith is really active.
Yeah, for us.
Yeah.
But that is too cool. Now I'm most active probably in Malice as far as like just in general the Demon's Den.
Yeah.
Just because that's where we usually go in and hang out where most people are, but we're working on getting some other things like popped up here, some more techno witchy things, which I think is fun.
And that's the positive thing about technology, you know.
Yeah.
I love that some images Joy showed, many of them with people together and looking at their phones. But I think a positive thing about technology is the Discords and the groups and the YouTubes, and as a way of connecting, that energy connects that way is good.
So, Instagram, we have the Two Pondering Pagans with a green and purple logo, and then Rook, you have your own.
Ooh, I would love to join your Discord.
Yes.
Miss Cauldron Witch. What's the easiest way? Can she post in here? Well, she may not want to.
I don't know how to mod. Maybe Paranormal does, but I don't know how to mod allow a link. But you can try it.
I would be very interested. And you're in the Demon's Den, so she could share it there sure. From the Cauldron, which is in there. I would love to join it. Thank you.
There is a Discord share channel in Demon's Den. If you want to post there, you can. Of course, anybody can. If you want to share it with everybody in the Demon's Den, or if you want to just message us, it's fine. I would love to join that. So yeah, you want to show the stuff?
What stuff? Yeah. Okay. Well, did Joy say okay?
You need to up your dose.
Okay, I know Dragon Dancer. Okay. They said, yep. All right. So, you had let me show Blessed Home.
Yes.
This is what Dragon Dancer made, crafted, and brought for a reason. And we are going to hang it above our door today. Is to bless the home.
We have to activate that.
We shall activate it and hang it today. Thank you.
That's actually something we probably should talk about in one of our future episodes, activating sigils and how to work that process. Would be fun.
It's awesome. And I love the color.
Uh-huh.
Color is black and silver.
We're trying to think of a name for the house. I think I got a name for it finally. But I'm not going to share it yet. Because I don't feel like it yet.
And Joy, did you paint the medicine wool stones, or was it collective, like in a group? So this is mine for November. And of course, again, I love the black and white or black and silver. And this is going right back into the Fae Garden.
Watch your feet.
I will. I felt it.
Yeah, I saw it jiggle.
And this is August for Mr. Mystics. It's beautiful. And these shall go right back into the garden, leaned against the tree. That's somebody's energy into that was awesome. Okay, now I shall go and get the Dragon Dancer mini.
Oh yeah, those are so
Oh,
nice.
I didn't bring the little one. I gotta go get it. This is awesome.
Them be heavy, yes.
Dragon Dancer, is it okay if I grab the little one with the raccoon that was painted? And this Dragon Dancer painted, this one I'm going to show is beautiful.
If you're comfortable posting in general, I'm okay with that. I'm an admin on there, so you can post in the general area and I can move it over. And I'll check it as soon as we're done. But I'm fine with... wait. I'm not going to click that because it's going to take my stuff off, so I won't have to go back to that. That's too fun.
Let me get the cypress that Joy painted.
I love that. And it's interesting because my mom is a very artistic brain person, and I wish that I had got some of that art. She would go to the thrift store and buy rusted saw blades, like the long ones, and then regular round saw blades. And she would paint all kinds of pictures and stuff on them. It was so cool. She was so good. And thank you, Paranormal, for putting that link in for the YouTube channel for Cauldron Witch. We will be checking that out for sure.
Definitely. And this is the cypress dragon that Joy painted. I wish the iridescent colors showed on here, but they don't. I don't think. Okay. So all that time and energy, that's community, and that is appreciated, and those are all gifts from and of the heart.
Also completely unrelated, once we get this whole thing figured out of how to do this properly, in Discord for our Discord, which I'll make sure you get that link, Cauldron, also, because that's the one we would use. It would be neat to have you, come on and talk with us. Now, I know Rook and I have talked before. We are not inviting anybody in as a guest, ever. On this show, because it's not like this, not a guest kind of thing. This is like a, hey, if you want to hop on and talk, you do, right? So anybody can at any time. And I guess I couldn't call it a guest. Anybody can be a guest anytime they want to be a guest, is kind of what I'm saying. But it would be very neat to kind of get your perspective on things, because I know it's quite different on some of the things than I'm used to. And I think we could learn a lot. But I think that would be fun. There we go. Sorry, I'm just looking here. Alright. There we go. I just said hello to myself on your Discord. I'll be alright, I promise. What'd you say, Brad?
Oh, I'll send a Dragon Dancer answer if I can get the little stone. Oh, is that yes? I think that's a yes.
She said she didn't care if you shared any of her work somewhere.
Yeah, but that wasn't hers. That was Little Ones.
Oh, yeah, I remember. The raccoon.
I think that means yes, Dragon Dancer.
Yeah.
I'll get it. If
That
you think
one's
she
cute.
would be okay with us sharing it.
Of course.
Oh, I think you would have a awesome. Paranormal Witch, you have
Should
taught me a lot.
Plenty to say.
Shall I go get the little stone? I'm gonna go get it.
Yes,
and
go
she
get
can
the little
say
one.
stop. I won't mention names.
Yes, you can. She officially said yes.
Okay.
He'll be alright, I promise.
I'm on meds.
While he's out there doing that, I wanted to kind of have a conversation about this. So this is just a general glass spray bottle, right? We used Grove for a while. We still do for some of our cleaning supplies. Glass bottles. We don't waste all the plastic, so we refill our own with the tablets and water and kind of stuff. So this is literally just about an ounce of grain alcohol, whatever the drinking alcohol is, like Everclear type. And then the rest of it's water with a couple of... She can go out. with a couple of drops of different scents that I put in here. Vetiver, however you want to say it. Vetiver, sandalwood, pine, and a couple of other things, and kind of mix them all together. And the alcohol helps kind of break the oils down so that they can mix in with the water well better when you shake it. And we created ourselves a room spray, and I'm telling you, it smells nothing like any of the things that you put in it. We meant to use it yesterday as a cleansing item for those that wanted to, but we kind of forgot. But we're still going to use it. So, where'd you go? Maybe he's out of the thing. Yes. Well, you're welcome here, but I mean, even remotely, I need to figure out how to make it work, like the Discord sound, because I don't have all the sound stuff. When we do this, the servicing, we use my laptop because the computers are too far away to really do an appropriate thing. So
this is from Little One, a special gift. I don't know how she painted that so small on there, but I get a good energy from this one. It's really, really thoughtful and appreciated.
That is very nice. Yes, and it is good. I got a perfect spot for it in that tree.
Okay, well you can move it. I'll let you place it where you feel. But I had it in a fairy lantern house on top.
That's fine too. You don't need to change it if you already have a spot for it.
And what took me so long is yet again Dragon Dancer. I was stealing food, sneaking food.
That's about all you do. So yeah, and Carter, which we kind of like, our big thing is we don't want to interview ever on here. Like, this isn't interview, this is discussion. So those that want to join in, we'll kind of get our Discord right and fix the way it's supposed to. And then anybody, literally, if everybody in the chat is like, look, I want to talk today, I have something to share, then you just hop in and we would share it. Like, that's just how we want to set it up. Because it's not an interview thing, this is a share thing for us. We have Malice experience for interviews.
Thank you from a Cauldron Witch, of course. Yes, it's coming. It will. It started to Miss Joy with energy. Absolutely.
The next Sabbath.
Sabbat. Yes.
Sabbat.
What is it?
Tickle.
Tickle?
It is Lunasa. I gotta go let this dog in. She's over.
Lunasa, yes.
And I have to pee, so we're good.
Lunasa, August 1st.
We have to make our Lunasa bread again.
The beginning of the harvest season. Yes, ma'am.
You hear me? We gotta make our Lunasa bread again.
Yes, Brian is hollering that we have to make our Lunasa bread again. Is that the one with the molasses? No, that's a different one. But yes, we have to make it again. Oh goodness. Yes, I agree, Joy, that that the roots did lend to the ritual. Absolutely. Hey. Yeah, I corrected. I thought about it. No, it's not the molasses bread. It's the Lunasa bread. So that means, Joy, you got to come over and we'll do a cooking video on the Lunasa bread again. Yeah, absolutely. Paranormal Witch, that's what happened to me when I wrote my last ritual. Like, it gets you in loops and rabbit holes, and you find out one thing of interest, and you're like, okay, an idea comes in, you got to research that. But isn't it a lot of fun, though? Hello, hey Douglas. So Letha went really well. Lunasa is the next Sabbath, around August 1st, the beginning of the harvest season. We'll be working on ritual discussions, lore discussions, altar setup, and representation. Today we're in waning gibbous, 68% of the moon illuminated in Pisces. Emotions, he's got to put what he read here. But the next full moon will be July 13th, the buck moon in Capricorn. Buck antlers start showing their full growth. And the next new moon will be June 29th, which will be in Cancer. Yes, we will. Ooh, awesome. Well, I'm interested in the vegetarian honoring. I'm trying to eat a little bit less meat, so that is awesome. Yes, welcome in. And thank you for stopping by, Doug. I don't know where my other... Oh, here he comes. What are you doing, my dear?
Throwing the trash away in my pocket.
Ah.
Did you miss me?
Yeah, I just went over a little bit about the next Sabbath, what our moon was in, the next full moon, and next new moon. That's kind of what I went over. I didn't go into detail. I just kind of read off, ritual discussions, that stuff.
Okay.
So that would bring us to ongoing
Projects.
Thank you. Thank you, Doug.
No, new people. Hi.
Ah!
I
Hey,
go away
Melvin.
for 5 minutes.
I know. Whoop, whoop.
Welcome. I can't do it like
Melvin, you
does
were
it.
one of my examples of community earlier, and how I appreciate the time that people take to reach out and respond, and about how you communicated about what you're doing and working on, and that helped me. So thank you. That's part of community. Well, look at the kitty cat. The kitty dug in. Me? Oh, Mel, yeah.
All right. So ongoing projects is shadow work. We're a little behind on releasing shadow work because so much has been happening. We do have episode 2. I think we're going to release tomorrow, probably. So if you had a chance to look at the first episode, hopefully you enjoyed it. Obviously, it's very low rent at the moment. We're still getting some pieces together, but it's finding itself at a nice... So we've already done the 3rd episode recording, and we're getting ready to do the 4th. So we're getting a little ahead, which is nice on that part, and it's very organically kind of shaping into it. I've talked a little bit with the person that I fanboy over the most in life.
Who?
Scarlett.
Oh, yeah.
I fanboy just a little.
Yeah.
But we've been talking a little bit about seeing if we can't get her in a periodic live stream for
shadow work,
discussion of the shadow work, and kind of working that process. So I think she was looking at kind of participating from her perspective, and I think it'd be very neat to see that and have that perspective. We just don't know how we're going to integrate that process. So we're hoping that that'll turn into something that we can do, like every 2 or 3 episodes. We'll have a live event to discuss shadow work in general and what we're learning about ourselves through the process. So that'll be kind of interesting to see, I think, how that goes.
And I hope that after this current specific thing we're doing in shadow work, I hope past life regression comes up again.
I think it will, and I think
I would like to do that again.
I think we mentioned that to Joy too. Joy helped us with our last one that we did. It's been a while.
She led us across the water and to it.
I think that would be kind of cool to do again. But yeah, so we got lots of things kind of working in the background of the project, the project background. So 2nd episode will come out tomorrow. We're going to continue releasing them every Friday, but because again we kind of did the Leith and we did a lot of other stuff was happening, so we kind of pulled things around a little bit differently this week. Some of those can get kind of long. We're trying to keep them between like 40 minutes to an hour. But we're really kind of just learning ourselves, like through different things through the process as we're doing it from this perspective. I've never done it through tarot in the way that Christine Jetty does. I think it's Christine, right?
Christine.
Yeah. So it's very nice to kind of have this pathway and to kind of share this whole process. So, like I said, hopefully we can start getting a couple of live streams just to talk about what we're learning so far and get interaction and feedback from Scarlett from a little bit more professional opinion and process and background. So that'll be fun.
Thank you from the Cauldron Witch for following, and thank you, Joy, for always being ready to help. Celebration time will bring up shadow.
Always does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I put on here as an ongoing project, Operation Network. Because I'm a nerd. I mean, that's really where that comes from. And as a nerd, I like to liken what we're doing is plugging ourselves back into the network. Now, we talk about how disconnected we are to Earth. We are so disconnected from the universe and from nature and from the things around us because we are too connected to the grid and the matrix network, right? So now we're kind of pulling some of those out and learning how to be plugged into both because that's the times we're in. So we're working through talking, how we're connecting ourselves back in through community while staying connected electronically, which is what? Using YouTube for things like this, using Discord for the small groups and then the larger groups and kind of having those connections. One thing that I'm terrible at is I really wanted to take some image and video of our stuff yesterday, and I just completely forgot because you're so immersed in doing it. It's almost like you have to pay somebody to come do that part.
I did take a little pre-photos because
Yes,
I don't film or take pictures during. I think that zaps energy, but before I did, which I'm happy, it's not a people, so I'm okay to share it. If you'd like to share it to our Instagram or somewhere, the Two Wandering Pagans,
but
I think mine.
Yeah, the big thing is the different levels of participation. For example, we participated in ritual yesterday at the house, very low key and kind of specific to just what was happening at the time. We are going to participate in another ritual with a larger group, probably people we don't know very well, which is fine. But I'd also like to maybe not necessarily perform ritual with other additional people like further out, but I want to experience and kind of share what other people are doing. So if you do have stuff like that you want to share, we want to kind of throw it up so we can talk about it and kind of get that whole process going. But that's just something we're working on and kind of in the background. But that takes us to our next topic. We're getting almost to our current events, which is, I think, my favorite part.
I love it.
And that is ritual. What is it? Why do we do them? What are they? What's the purpose?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, what do you do?
For me, what do I do them? For me, I do them as an observance of the times or the turns of the year and the wheel that I feel like we're disconnected from. And two, I do it for connection with other people, with community, in the form that we did it yesterday.
Yeah.
And it helps to stop and get pulled back into being connected to the earth for me.
Yeah. And so I kind of look at ritual can mean a lot of different things. Like you can have a daily ritual for yourself, and it keeps you kind of on a path.
Coffee.
Coffee is a daily ritual. This is becoming a weekly ritual for us. You ritualistically and repetitively do something, but it's not just the repetition of it for a ritual. It is the meaning behind it, and it's important to note that sometimes rituals are not good for you if you're looking at ritual in that perspective. Now, we're talking a little bit more on the lines of a planned ritual like an Esbat or a Sabbat. Sabbats being the 8 turns of the wheel, whether it's, whatever you follow. And it may be more or less than 8, I don't know. There may be some of them that I'm not familiar with, but it's usually 8. The 4 greaters and 4 lessers. And then you have Esbats, which is really anything else that you celebrate, but usually like moon rituals and things like that.
Yeah, like from the Cauldron Witch. Absolutely.
People do rituals because it creates comfort and direction and focus, right? So, we get up and have our coffee and just kind of sit and create new rituals that are part of our preparation for the day. It reduces anxiety. It allows us to have something we're comfortable in a pathway. But why do we do ritual like Litha? Like, we didn't have to do all the ritual stuff yesterday. But while we were doing it, my brain starts attuning and kind of adjusting to this time of the year. What is the earth doing? Whether or not we're involved in working the land, planting and all that stuff, we need to be in tune with it because our bodies are, and that's how we're designed. So that ritualistic process kind of brings me back to being grounded and comfortable and familiar again, which is why I do ritual. I do rituals because from a Sabbath, it is important to me from a Sabbath perspective because it resets the stones. It's kind of like, you're kind of walking left foot, right foot, and then, the road starts splitting a little bit, and then left foot gets a little further away, right foot gets a little further away, the left foot, before you know it, you can't stand because you're doing the splits. And the ritual just kind of brings your feet back together. Or, when you're watching a movie and the sound doesn't match what you're saying and the sound is off, like on the old VHS tapes and stuff, it's putting those things back on order together again. It's just restitching. To me, it's restitching time, space, and everything back to a place where I'm comfortable. And that's why I like ritual. I really like moon rituals are probably my favorite more than anything. Full moon, new moon rituals, I think, are not better or worse, but I really, really enjoy the moon rituals. And I think Joy was talking about them a minute ago.
From a cauldron, which was too, for outcomes, and that's awesome. Yes. Very, very valid. Douglas, coffee ritual like a boss. That's why I was laughing. And Paranormal Rich, absolutely showing your respect to yourself and spirit. And it does make you feel comfortable, doesn't it?
Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit about the outcome thing, right? So for a purpose of an outcome. So what was our purpose of an outcome yesterday? So what did we get out of it? And that is the most beautiful thing for me. We got community strengthening, I think. We are learning new people that we weren't necessarily close to before, and we're getting to know you guys better. We are knowing how the land works better. We are communing in a way that gets us closer to where we really belong. It's incredibly stress relieving. And I would venture to say it would be the same for Left Hand Path or any other person that does ritual like in a formal manner like we do yesterday. And formal not being like, the pomp and circumstance, but just being like an actual intended purpose.
Right.
Kind of the same thing. It's whether you're manifesting something. We do candle magic, and that's part of a ritual when we do it. We do it ritualistic process, a ritualistic scribing. There's just so many different ways and reasons to do it, but no matter what, for me personally, it always plants my feet back on the ground in the right time, in the right place, and gets me back on track every time, no matter what, no matter how. It always does that for me.
Yeah, Joy's path is action to take for a specific result of energy. Rituals are done the same for it brings us to a magical space of choice. Yeah. And Mercury, so that's a good, awesome on doing the first ritual on Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
That's a good idea that I
hadn't have to do that next time.
I hadn't thought of. That's a really good idea.
So I think just before we get too far down the line, the bringing the magical space of choice, bringing us to magical space of choice, I think is a really cool way to say it because it does narrow your options, not like bad way. It just it's almost like it's like putting your glasses on when you haven't been able to see for 20 years for the first time. You're like, oh, holy crap! Now I know I can go forward. So bringing you to that place of choice is really kind of just narrowing you down to a space where the truth is revealed and you can actually process that. I think ritual does that. I would love to hear about that though, Douglas. I'm going to call you Doug because she called you Doug, and if you don't like that, just tell me. I'll go back to Douglas.
Frog song rainbow, absolutely. After the ritual, and it was, at certain points in the ritual for me, the thunder.
Oh, it was timed so perfectly yesterday.
It's like we were really attuned to the universe. Really that thunder, just boom, boom, boom.
Cauldron, which I don't know much about the evoking of Lucifer, Azazel, Astaroth, and Belial specifically. Only from what I've heard, from Malice and from our discussions in there. But I would assume that evocation is for very similar reasons. I would love to hear if you agree with that statement or not.
And then, yeah, group solstice for abundance. Awesome. All good things.
Yeah, I love that.
Playing in the rain. That was fun.
It was fun to watch.
It's fun to watch. Yeah.
I was manning the projector at that point.
Yeah.
Group solstice ritual would be very fun. Like ours, we did ours for solstice was Fey and Flame. Our goal and purpose and intent was really fun. I think it was recognizing and increasing your own personal flame and your own personal what you bring, and then putting it out to community to grow that even more.
Oh, when I'm in trouble, that's like me. When I hear Bradley, I'm Brad, but Bradley is in trouble. He calls me Bradley when I'm in trouble.
I do. It's a lot, almost every day, more than once sometimes.
Working with different deities. Ah, yeah, awesome.
I like that. I've literally thought recently about trying to work with some these flies. I'm telling you guys, they're still around. But working with deities outside of where I'm normally working from. So I'm going to have to look at that.
That's really cool.
Been very called Norse lately, like to Norse paganism and dragon work, and I think that's just a pool that's kind of a general universal lately, but me personally, very much so. But I would like to work with deities that I just never would have thought I would work with before, just to kind of really work through how, that all looks.
The classic full name means trouble.
Yes, very classic. So that's kind of our thing on rituals. Like, it's really, there's ritualistic behaviors and things that you do like as a ritual as a person, and then there's like, I won't say formal or even high magic, 'cause I don't like that, but the rituals that you do with specified intent for those outcomes that Joy was mentioning. I think that's kind of the ritual I was thinking in my head, and that's really what we're talking about. And I enjoy them. I like doing them. I like participating. I like being present, and I think it's very nice. So, too cool.
Aww. That's awesome, Doug. Joy is our definitely mentor.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Blue. Maybe it's got the calming effects of water. Thank you, sir.
Yes, we're definitely in water season. We're currently, what are we in, Pisces, right? The waning gibbous in Pisces, so we're fishing it right now. And the energy, from what I've been kind of gathering and looking at, has all been very stable. Like, it's very stable, emotional, but very easy to, not easy, but potential for these wild flares that you want to be careful about. And yes, Doug, very much so. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm just starting out in magic all the time. I would say I've practiced for about 25 years. But I didn't practice for all 25 of those years. I went in and out of stuff. I went in and out of Wicca. I went in and out of general paganism, in and out of witchcraft, just in and out of all kinds of stuff all over the place. Even back in and out of Christianity for a while when guilt was really flaring up. But ultimately have settled in here, and I'm still consider myself new in magic every day. Something new always happens. And having multiple different mentors is great. I would say it's been nice for me to bring you kind of into the pagan fold.
Yeah.
But I'm learning from that process. Like, I'm reevaluating my own things from that. Like, it's very nice, and I don't think I would have done that otherwise. So, always something new.
All right.
So now, Rook is making comments under his breath because he wants to move on to the current events section. So I'm going to start. Don't throw away your corn silk from freshly shucked corn.
Don't throw it away.
Don't throw it away.
Why not?
Native American and Chinese herbalists for thousands of years have been using the corn silk to make tea. This tea supposedly tastes like corn.
Huh.
Which would make sense. However, and no studies on this, right? This is just reading and a little bit of research that does support it, that it is used in Chinese and Native American medicine as a corn silk tea that helps with inflammation, antibiotic type stuff. reducing infectious disease and comfort, just in general comfort. Arthritis, which is a common thing for everybody. So I just thought it was very cool when we were talking about the beginning harvest now, the height of the sun, and then the first harvest, which will be coming up in Lunasab. We have our corn silk. What are you laughing at?
I'm just smiling. I'm happy.
You got something up your
And
sleeve.
no, it makes me happy thinking about the harvest festivals.
Okay.
Lita, Lunasa,
We're going to talk about it later.
Samhain.
I see your reflection too in here. But yeah, so corn silk tea, man, that's something I never would have thought of, right? Corn silk tea.
Yeah, mentors definitely worth gold.
Yes, and there's so
time.
many of them.
Yeah.
Like a mentor doesn't have to be somebody that's an expert on everything that you do. That's the one thing that I think people are so confused about. I could say right now I have 5 mentors. You're mentoring me on making sure that I can check myself and revalidate. Joy mentors me by pulling out things that I never would have even thought about. It doesn't have to be one person, and it doesn't have to be one person all the time. Everybody is student and teacher together. It's so nice. But yeah, it's just something.
Yeah, that's very that's interesting, Melvin, and that's awesome when you visualize your outcome. It's great how that works.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something with the visualization. You're also taking action, which strengthens that, and yeah, the mind is very powerful.
Which nothing happens if you don't take action like
That's
that.
right.
It doesn't just come to you.
Right.
And we did our money spell way back when we were in our apartment. And we were trying to get things together and figure stuff out. It was crazy. Actually, did we have that before? No, we did it in the apartment. And we took the dollar bills and other like gold flakes and just things that represented money and put them in a jar of olive oil, and then bought the little wicks that you can cork wicks that float on top of oil and light it, and it just kept us focused. And we were able to manifest some things. Probably need to do that again because manifesting's getting kind of dry.
Ooh, what is this? Hunters, Florida is offering hunters cash, prizes to kill off Burmese pythons in the Everglades. Last year, 223 pythons were removed from the Everglades. This year, August 5th to August 14th, they're going to give prizes.
Yep, so they're giving prizes for the hunters to go into the Everglades and retrieve, which means kill, the Burmese pythons. Now, they are invasive. They do destroy parts of the ecosystem. They do need to come out. The problem for me is it's like everything in the news right now is there's a snake problem related to this. It's
But
not
who
a
brought
snake.
them here?
Yeah, it's a people problem.
Who brought these
People are the ones that screwed that stuff
pythons
up.
here?
So it was important. It just was really, really important. So to recognize, and I wish somebody would have said that in one of the things. It's very important to recognize it's a human person problem, not a python problem. Now, granted, it has to be addressed. I mean, it really does because they're eating the small birds and mammals and really kind of just overtaking the entire area. But to have 223 removed in 2 weeks from there, that's a lot. Like that's a lot. It's a lot of bird eating and other things, in the area. So
I wonder if they could not be captured and relocated to where they're native to. If that's a better idea.
exactly, and Mel, that's
Yeah.
exactly for me. It's a double-edged sword because I don't like any creature being harmed.
Right.
Especially because humans are harming them, but humans put them in the space to be harmed. Like that's what really pisses me off. He just randomly walked off. That was great. Didn't even say nothing. How rude. Oh, well, can you feel called to grab the money jar on your way back? See how that works. I manifest. There was a small 3.9 on the Richter scale earthquake in Mater, Georgia. No major damage. However, it was felt throughout central and southeast Georgia up to some of South Carolina. So, interesting. I don't know much detail. There wasn't a lot in the article either, but it was very interesting to have an earthquake over here. It doesn't happen often. I do remember the last time we did have an earthquake. I was in Norfolk, Virginia, and I was actually discontinuing a patient's PICC line, which is like a catheter that goes up through the arm and into the chest. And I was taking it out, and you have to really pay attention. The thing is usually 25 to 30 centimeters long. And, you know, you take it out, you have to pull the whole thing out. And as I'm pulling it out, I'm looking dead straight down at it. And I just remember going, like, everything just, like, went in a circle. And I'm like, ooh, what just happened? Did I mess something up? But, yeah, so we had that was the last one that I remember. That was, like, 2012, I think. So,
Remember, this lid is not secure.
yeah, it is definitely quote-unquote weak sauce. I agree, Mel. It was tiny. Like, the one that we felt was super tiny, but it scared the shit out of me because we're not used to the earth moving underneath us. Ooh, that's dirty.
I know. You need another coffee? Yeah, take that up.
I do not need another coffee. So,
I'll show it if you want.
yeah, I want to show it. Grab a napkin when you come back in because I just want to wipe off the top. So, it's a little greasy, so we want to clean it off real quick to show you what our money jar looks like. And they're these... you probably will know them if you see them, but there's these little oh, that one just messed up. Cork like pieces. Y'all definitely can't see that, it's too tiny, but it's a little piece of cork with a wick in it, and that wick is able to be used as a wick, right? Of course, because that's what it is. But bring 2 paper towels. My hands are dirty now. But those wicks will float on most vegetable oil, including olive oil.
Let it dry.
Oh, thank you.
My intuition.
Most
told me.
olive oil. I'm sorry.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh my God!
Goodness.
You kicked her and stepped on her.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No.
He did.
Oh, I'm sorry, little one. I know. I'm sorry.
But anyway, these wicks burn vegetable oil.
Sorry.
And olive oil, like I said. And so you can just kind of float it on there and light it. Now, we haven't lit it in quite a while, which is probably why it is so greasy. They get a little greasy like on top and stuff because, well, that's olive oil, right? Smells good still, just like olive oil. Yes. But yeah, so this was actually a fun thing that we did way back when. Before we bought the house.
We need to start lighting it again.
Yeah. It'll be hard to see it. We need to clean it out and put some more things in it. But there, now it's showable. We've had this for at least 5 or 6 years. So you'll see we put different spices, herbs in it, and the little floating thing you see in there is one of those wicks. It's just olive oil. And then we threw in a couple of monies.
Dollar bills.
Couple of dollar bills.
Wrapped around cinnamon.
Yep. Cinnamon is a big prosperity thing for me. And yeah. So that's our jar that we did. The dollar bills look nice and crisp. I wonder how.
They sure are.
That's too funny. Well, if you ever need $3.
We do need to get some more wicks and light it up.
We have more wicks in that drawer.
We need to light it up, man.
So.
Burn, baby, burn.
All right, so that's the money jar. We talked about the earthquake. We talked about corn silk tea, which sounds gross, but I'm going to try it. And we talked about the Burmese pythons. Our next topic that I have on here is why are people smoking cane toad poison?
I don't know.
Because that's what humans do.
Cane toad?
Yeah, so cane toads are also an invasive species, but they're used and most often found among the sugar canes, which is how they got the name cane toad. And they have these little glands on their shoulder. They get pretty big, really big. And on their shoulders, you can squeeze them and a milky toxin comes out and it makes you go kind of cuckoo. So people are, drinking it, licking it, smoking it, to have an experience, and they think that this could have been done as far back as the Middle Ages.
Is that like the flying potions, similar to?
I don't know.
Witches would take, or
well,
people?
They would make it out of stuff to do the same thing, but that's not what this is. This is licking toads to get high.
From the Cauldron Witch, I would love
Florida.
to talk to you later and learn about Santa Muerte and how you work with her. I would love to have a talk and learn about her.
These toads are central to native to Central and South America, invasive to Florida, Australia, and the Philippines.
Why would you ever lick a toad?
Sometimes brought on purpose to control cane beetles. And interestingly, the one main enemy of the cane toad is the Australian predatory meat ant, and of course, that's what it would be called. But they're immune to the toxin. But yeah, people maybe as far back as the Middle Ages have prepared, drank, smoked the poison because of the type of toxin that it is, creates hallucinations and delusions. And some people have said what it does differently than other toxins is it resets your brain. Your brain, it's like a reboot of your brain. I'm not going to try it out. I'm pretty good right now with where my brain is.
Well, it just makes me wonder, what was that first person thinking about that decided to go lick one?
Well, it was probably on accident. They probably touched the toad and then licked their finger.
Probably.
They got warts and high.
It will show the way. Interesting, Joy.
That is very interesting. See, I learned something new again. I got to write that down.
Oh, thank you from the Cauldron Witch. I'm really interested in learning more about
Saint
her.
Martha.
I'm very interested. Yep.
And then the only other thing that I had on my list is the trash found on Mars.
Now, how can there be trash on Mars?
So the trash was a piece of reflective blanket that came from the landing. The problem is that piece of trash was found floating around in an area it wasn't supposed to be in by the rover. Ergo, we are already polluting a planet, which you already knew, because there's already wreckage on there. But we are polluting a planet already that we don't even live on. That we haven't even got people on yet. Like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
It kind of pisses me off.
That are some kinky stuff, yes, Melvin.
Could be both. All right, that's all the news articles I have. Do you have anything?
No, just a good week. We look forward to getting out Tuesday for another solstice ritual and sound healing. Just encourage everybody, if you choose to and can, do observe the solstice or the turns of the wheel or whatever's important to you and you choose to do. It does help to connect back, for at least to me personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Whoever you call on or use or whatever work you do, that is, specific to you.
Yeah, and that kind of came up in our discussion last night a little bit when we were talking about things. Like, for me, it is more of a, what do you call it? A archetype. So the green man, to me, represents an archetype. And it's an archetype of the wild man, the primal urges, but also the refined parts of man, of human. And when I say man, I mean human. With the consort of the green woman, representation, not just divine masculine and feminine, but the yin and yang and how they roll together and apart at the same time.
Hey, ma petite.
So, I'm going to have to look that up, Mel. This dog's breath smells so bad, you guys. Like, I can't even take it. Don't lick me. I love you, but that's a stinky. Smells like butt. Smell it.
I'm good. I love her.
You have to hold at least one chihuahua during the thing. But I guess, really, comes down to is, the big thing with the solstice is the community. It's the brightening, the quickening, the developing, the growing, and all of that happens as a group, as a team, as a community. It doesn't happen individually. It can, but it's more about raising your individual flame so that you can raise the community flame, and that's kind of how we process. And I think that's really the message this week for me.
And about gradual change, right? Because it's going to slowly, the days are going to slowly get shorter.
But it's not just gradual change too, but it's gradual expected change that has been consistent throughout time. Yeah. But yeah. So that's it for today's service. I think that's all the topics we wanted to cover. Now, normally we would just say thank you, have a nice day, and we're done. But there's a lot of really good conversation, so I don't want to jump off just too quick. But we don't have any more topics unless you guys bring something up you want to talk about. So Melvin, definitely got to look that up.
Yeah, about the satellite.
18 statues is a lot. I wonder where,
And I love it.
Yeah, so we have a couple of botanicas around nearby, right, that we kind of went through and found some, but they're not easy to find, some that aren't, super commercial.
Right, and then you don't know when they're open because with the Botanica here...
They're open when they want.
It said they were open, and then they weren't open. And then the next day they were open. But it was a really neat experience.
My little luck dragon has laid down in my arm. I'm glad you guys stopped in. It's always great to see new names and new faces. We will probably do a couple shameless plugs. So every Sunday at 11, really 10:45, we turn on the audio as we get set up. But at 11 o'clock, we're going to continue doing this. This is probably our 8th or 9th one. Really enjoy it. It's probably one of my most fun things that we've done. And just to kind of chat. We're not going to ever have on interviewees or guests because it's just it doesn't feel right to have guests on something like this. That being said, anybody who wants to come live, video, and or chat is more than welcome to. We are fully open in our process as far as what we do and who's participatory. It's everybody. There's no exclusion unless you're a dick or an asshole. That's the exclusionary criteria. Don't be an ass.
We love to have people join. We have joiners.
Yeah, joiners.
We would love to have anybody join at any time.
Co-discussers.
Yeah,
but just
co-hosts.
I don't want anybody to feel if they want to come on to be like, I have to carry a conversation or I'm a host.
I have to plan it. I have to request. No, just jump in.
That's the purpose.
We're going to get the Discord figured out and we can just drop you in.
Yeah. We're doing the Shadow series, which will be very fun. Hopefully, like I said, we'll have some additional pieces to pop on there. And then we have Malice Experience every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's with Mr. Malice, or Adius Dade, and myself, and usually some really cool guests on there.
Unexplained Possibilities on YouTube.
Unexplained Possibilities on YouTube.
Melvin.
Every time he goes live, I get the notification when he's done.
I know.
I don't understand it. Every time. It's like, hey, Unexplained Possibilities was live 3 hours ago. Just ended. I'm like, really? And the notifications are on. It's so annoying.
Catch Unexplained Possibilities. He is awesome.
Very much so.
And a wide range of topics on there.
Perfectly fine too, Doug.
Always good.
Gotta have listeners if you're gonna have talkers, right? I think our biggest thing, or the most important thing to me, is that people understand that this is not a group meeting about what we like and what we think. It's really meant to get a discussion going to just talk about stuff and feel connected to people that we may not otherwise connect to. So it's always a good thing.
And Paranormal Witch on Instagram has some awesome blogs. Her Instagram is LadyRose819. LadyRose819. Ziggy Dreadful is on Twitch.
She is.
Streaming games. Always fun time to check out Ziggy Dreadful as well.
We need to make a shout out list. I need to figure out how to do that.
I don't think he would mind. Maeve. Hold on, let me get his modern. I think it's hold on. Do you remember Maeve's on here?
I just saw it right before we started too.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Ah, let me get it.
Find it. And somebody else was asking just a minute ago about tarot. Yeah, we didn't even do some. We normally pull tarot at the end.
Bite, B-Y-T-E, of reality. Maeve on Instagram is Bite, B-Y-T-E, of reality. On Twitch, he is Mavethel, M-A-V-E-T-H-E-L.
Yeah.
I will take cherry pie. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't do the tarot. We always pull tarot cards. So, we probably should do that. I mean, we try to keep this to an hour and a half ish.
Yeah, so
we're going to hit 2 hours here at 1 o'clock. So 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll each pull a single card if anybody wants to read.
Hey, maybe
we'll just pull a single card. We'll use the new tarot decks.
Sure.
You think?
I like it.
If I can do it. So, if you would like a 1 minute 2-card reading, just state so in the chat and we will roll with it. Because we almost forgot. We do this just every time. So we get talking and paying attention to stuff and I forget to do the tarot.
I know, and I like the chat stuff going on. I get lost in the chats.
I get lost in the chat.
But we certainly can.
Oh, Calder Witch, I'm guessing she wants a card. So you'll get 2 cards. You'll get 1 from each. Now, this is going to be very tough for me.
Yeah, you want me to... Here,
yeah, you're going to have to shuffle my cards for me. Because I'm not putting this one down.
You want me to hold her while you shuffle?
No, look how comfortable she is. She does not get moved.
These all the...
Yeah.
These are so cool. I like that yours are not... Ooh!
They're matte and a little
New
smaller.
tarot, what time from the Cauldron Witch? Tarot IG? Yeah, if she wants to give like her birth date.
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Alright. So I have Cauldron, Dragon, Joy, and Doug. We'll pull a card.
Ooh, coming up, isn't she? Okay.
Feel good? I know it's getting dark outside. I think we're gonna have another rainstorm here in a minute.
Okay, how you wanna?
Thank you.
Yep.
You got yours full too?
Nope. But I will now.
Yeah. Yes, we did ask for rain.
We did.
All right.
That's a pretty card.
It is.
I do too, Paranormal. I like her name. Those cards are a little different.
Yeah, they are. This is a 4 of Wands. I just didn't know if they called it the same thing.
I'll go show it in a minute.
Oops. Jumper. VG
okay,
will eat it.
Jumping.
Speaking of Jupiter.
I don't think these were definitely
No rush, no rush. We gonna live, we gonna live.
Kamate.
Look at this baby. She is just... Oh, you're so sweet, Teeterbugs. My little Muppet titties. My arm is getting hot, though. My hand's sweating.
She does do that.
She's a hot body. Yeah, I'm not really big on Instagram. Like, it hasn't really...
I like Instagram.
It's just because, like...
I like it.
I don't have a lot of pictures to share. Like, maybe I need to, because mine is the Two Wandering Pagans one. So
Yeah.
it's not like I want to post my personal pictures on there.
I post my personal Rook Tempest on Instagram.
Well, that's because yours is Rook Tempest. I don't have my own. So now you're just snubbing me. Thanks.
No.
It was very sweet of
never
you.
snub you.
You just did.
Never.
Rude. Rude. Alright.
I almost feel like these are ready.
So I pulled the Four of Wands, and when he's done, he'll take the card up to show you. Four of Wands is actually, and I really need to stop saying you have good and bad cards, but it's a really, really positive card when you're pulling. Oh, and I probably should say who I'm pulling for. We're pulling for Cauldron first. Cauldron Witch. So this Four of Wands from the Alcet, if I'm saying it right, Gypsy. This is a very astrologically oriented deck. There it is. No, nice. Journey time. Vacation. So it's a very astrologically oriented deck. And this is our representation of Jupiter. Jupiter, as we know, is the big planet. It is the jovial planet. It is the planet of big things. And so when the Four of Wands comes about, they're talking about that victory, that joyous big thing that you're working on, or whatever you're doing is truly... Oh, we were supposed to talk about that too, Paranormal. We'll get back to that.
What's that?
The Salem thing.
Oh, yeah, we are.
We'll hit that. Promise. But so this Four of Wands is about being victorious. It's about proceeding forward into new things. If you're working on a project that is work-related or that you are getting paid for, it is going to be very abundantly and beneficially done, meaning whatever that work is, it's going to reap benefits more than you expected. And or potentially if you're looking for a new job or looking for something to sustain you, you're going to find something soon that is going to sustain you a little bit more than perhaps in the past. So the Four of Wands is really about, that's right there, I marked it for you. It's really about that big, open, everything that you've got. It also could represent beating the odds. But, noticing the card for me is a couple of things. You've got the caduceus-ish, you got the snakes going up the scepter. You've got the wings. That's actually the tattoo that is on my leg, which is interesting. But I do always see Four of Wands as a positive card. So in the book, the Four of Wands really does speak to some of those things that are set for you. You know what I mean? They're, what's the word? Cornered. I'm thinking of the word that when things are strong, stable, I guess is the best word I can think of. And so when it talks about the process of what the things that you're doing, again, whether it's work related, whether it's business related, doesn't matter. The focus really is on that positivity, that newness, that new things that are coming your way that are going to provide you a better outcome. So, in my interpretation would be a little bit different. So obviously new deck, I'm reading that from the book. The Four of Wands for me is a little bit more about making right home decisions. So less about career, more about being in your home and having a happy place to be and things that are going positively for you where you're located. It's physical strength and good health and positive emotions and going forward. So those two things together kind of match up what you just typed, right? Closing your Etsy shop on June 30th, which a lot of people are doing because of those fees. using just a website. So, Four of Wands is definitely a structural card. It represents all four corners, the four elements. Things are right. So decisions, probably a yes, positive, good decision, according to the card. So that would be the Four of Wands. Wands.
I didn't want to hear that. Where did my card go? Oh, it's in here. I didn't want to hear what. But I pulled the Six of Swords and So it shows moving away from maybe a troubled or hard time. It could be a situation, or it could be moving a physical place. But you're looking ahead and letting your intuition and guides guide you. And I stepped away, so I couldn't read what was being typed. But I don't know if that has to do with the Etsy shop or maybe another situation. But just look ahead. Your guides will take you the right way, and you're moving away from trouble or difficulty.
Yeah. Sixes are really good when you're on a metaphysical journey. Did you say it was swords?
Yes.
So if it's swords, this is more of a logical journey, right? This is less metaphysical and spiritual and more decision factors. So again, that speaks to decision making. So yeah. A lot of times the Six of Swords in some decks will represent going on vacation. That's why I said that earlier. Not just like going on a vacation to be happy vacationing. It's the getaway part of it. It's the getaway from the things that are all around you and making a decision that's going to have that effect. So, nice. I like it.
Oh, the thunder.
Thunder.
Joy and Dragon Dancer, do you hear thunder? We got some rolling thunder again.
All right, Dragon Dancer's next on the list. Again, we're going to do 2 cards, one from me and one from Rookie.
Ooh, Dragon Dancer.
Let's see what Dragon Dancer... Ooh, that was a good lightning.
Ooh.
Normally, and that's the other thing that's kind of fun, Cauldron, which when the more people that show up physically here, don't burn them. They're wax coated. Like, put them right in the fire. You're going to melt the card. Everybody who's present pulls a card for you. So the more people we have physically here, the more cards you get, right?
The more cards. That's awesome.
We will do better at making sure we stop a little bit earlier so we have more time.
So we can do the Tarot.
But Dragon Dancer, your first card is Temperance. Can we talk about the water again, please? So Temperance is a major arcana card, but it is a water card for sure. Representation. This is a really neat mermaid representation that I've never seen before. Of Temperance, and you're seeing the crisscross balance of water in the jars and the carriers that she's using to contain, or containers for the water. So I like to call Temperance active balance, because it's not about just the scales of justice would be like the balance of left and right. What's on the left equals what's on the right. Temperance is more about the teeter-totter and separating. Yeah, see, you don't want to melt those cards, do you?
I've switched my medium of clearing.
Sure did. But yeah, so it's really about temperance. So let's talk about things that are happening, right? This is emotional and water temper.
This is a beautiful card.
It really is. It looks.
And the water.
Tell me it doesn't look a little bit like classic tattoo work.
It does a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Which would go for Dragon Dancer.
Sure would. And, we're into the time of water right now. We need it. It's still coming. We got water coming again. But for you personally, Temperance is big. As the cards speak, it's really taking a look at what you're balancing in your life and making sure those things stay balanced appropriately and that they are tempered and potentially transformed into something that may be bigger. So remember, the other thing that's important about Temperance for me is transformation of Temperance. When you take the iron that's been heated extremely hard, it can then be tempered into something that's different, smaller, but stronger. And so that's what Temperance does for us. That's what we do when we're trying to be in Temperance. We are taking things around us and we are transmuting or transforming them into something that maybe not as big or maybe not as grand, but it is so much stronger. And so Temperance is really telling you to make sure that you're taking that on and following that process into Temperance. So let's see if a second card will augment that a little bit. Because I'm not getting a strong idea of what it's about. It's just a reminder of temper, transformation, and balance. Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. I love this temperance card. That's definitely really a pretty one. Like I could see that as a tattoo.
She should get that on her shoulder.
Ma. Oh, that was a good one.
Would she do burp?
Yeah. Look at her. Ma, you getting a little chunky.
Get him, Mom. Bite him.
Oh, the thunder.
Get him, Mom. Bite him.
It's okay, Ma.
Ooh. Okay. The lady, the empress.
There you go. So we went right from water to earth.
And I think this card is beautiful. The lady.
Easy, Ma. So the lady, if I'm not mistaken, that is number 3. That's Empress energy.
That is the Empress. So nurturing, loving,
Abundance.
abundance.
That is the other thing that speaks of there's so many transformation cards. A lot of them can be seen through that lens anyway. But temperance really tells me that something is transforming for you, in my opinion. I'm not trying to take over your card, but
to me, I get nurture yourself.
Yeah, nurture yourself, and I'm getting
yourself, be good.
I'm getting that same thing of growth where you take something and transform it into something completely different that's more than it ever could have been separately. And that is maybe in yourself, or something you need to nurture, you enjoy or like doing that maybe you've stopped or not doing it as much, and you just recently started it back up, and you're like, wow, I like this. I need to keep doing this more.
Keep doing it.
You know?
Good. Yeah.
Keep doing it. I didn't mean to take over your card. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
All right.
I have my petite energy on me, so my petite energy is very strong. Yes.
Because I'm bossy. See ya, Ma.
All right, so our third pool is for joy.
You mean shuffle or
Nope.
you?
I am shuffling them while you're talking into different sections.
Okay. Joyanne.
Joyanne. Okay, yeah, I thought so. That's the card that came up and it was stuck.
Oh, I love
Look
the
at
ring.
that.
What you got? What you got?
I
will show.
I'm guessing like that's the Ace of Cups. It's got to be. Yeah, that's got to be the Ace of Cups. So, Joy, your first card is the Ace of Cups.
All right.
Water, here we are.
Oh, it's beautiful. This is a tattoo.
Water,
as
water,
well.
water. Like, seriously. So, the Ace of Cups. It's weird thunder. The thunder sounds really strange.
I love it. That's my language.
Mm-hmm.
Rook is thunder. Tempest.
So the Ace of Cups can represent many, many, many things, but ultimately it is the true embodiment of all things emotion. So the Ace is not just the raw beginning of water; it is everything that water is. So the Aces are the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, all of them together at any point in their creation. If the Ace of Cups shows up to you, generally speaking, it's a reminder of what it says right on there. Love, thanks, or devotion. It is those things that represent the truest forms of positive water. And so, for me, I think this is just a representation of what's already happening in life for you. Water is blessing you in an incredible way, as we saw yesterday. And it is asking for those blessings to be given back out to the universe. I love this deck. This is a very neat deck.
That deck is beautiful.
Yeah.
What's it called? Augment?
Osset Gypsy.
Osset Gypsy.
I don't know what that means. I'm going to look it up.
Osset.
You're welcome, Dragon Dancer. Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
And yesterday. Thank you for spending time
And
with us
yesterday,
too.
and for gifting us the amazing stuff for the Fae and for the house. Paranormal, I'm glad you're still here. Yeah, we're going to talk about that vandalism statues for just a few minutes because I don't want to forget it.
Okay, yes. Look at these cards when it's right. One cannot rush shuffling for Joanne.
I love the ace though. It's just such a pretty card. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Thanks,
this is
Cauldron.
pretty. I love it.
We try.
Ooh.
That is a.
Oh,
We're using
I love
two
it.
completely different decks, by the
Two
way, just for the
different
record.
decks. So, Miss Joy, I've got the Ten of Cups for me. Kind of shows yesterday. With fulfillment and love and being surrounded, you have a tribe that loves you unconditionally. And I think that, well, that's more physical, but I was saying as you work on what is important to you, you will continue to feel that love and support from your tribe regarding your book. That's the main thing that comes up for me is this book. That's not the earth, but I think you will get a full, continue to feel supported as whatever you do. Your woolies, your book, we all love you, and this, I couldn't think of a better card to pull.
Yeah,
And I hope you feel that love from everybody.
Mm-hmm. And we talked yesterday, obviously a lot, but one of the things that you're mentioning is your time to kind of move on into something newer, and I think that's speaking to the reward that you get from being that separation into newer things, which I think is pretty freaking awesome.
And how funny, it's spelled differently, but that separation from cups, C-U-U-P-S, into fulfillment of the cups, of the heart, of the soul, in doing these different things you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. I hope you feel that love and fulfillment.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, that was a big one. It's dark out. Like, it's really dark. So yes, unexplained. Mel, we have talked about that. I have 4 favorite cards. 2 majors and 2 minors. The 2 majors are the Magician and the High Priestess. I don't know why. Like, I just love them in every deck. The representation of manifesting your magic and not taking shortcuts. And no matter what you do, those just embody everything in a tarot deck. And I'm not sharing my other 2 yet because I'm going to use it against Rook next week when we have the same conversation, because I'm going to give a couple hints to him this week to what my 2 minor arcana favorites are. And
3 of Swords.
Yeah. And we'll see if he can figure it out.
5 of Pentacles.
Shut up. See? That's manifestation for you. All right. Yeah, Joy, thank you for joining and for being here. We appreciate it. So the 4th person I have on the list is Doug. So Doug, I see you talking there. So yep. So we're going to pull you a couple.
You need me to hold or shuffle?
No,
or?
we're not messing with my dog. Well, that's creepy. Some of those thunder or bolts. The thunder sounds different than it normally does.
It does. It sounds fake. I don't know if they can pick up on it, but the thunder almost sounds fake. It's so pronounced.
So Doug, for you, I pulled the 2 of Cups. I think it was the 2 of Cups, or just the Prince of Cups. I think this might be the Prince of Cups.
The Prince of Cups, I think.
Yeah.
Let me go show
So
it.
this would be similar to a knight. I'm gonna look it up in the book just to be 100% sure, because I'm not familiar with the imagery that they have on here and the lettering. It's a P. I think it is a prince, but I want to make sure it doesn't make sense.
I'm sorry. My jumpers one was the 2 of Cups, but I'm not validating it because it was in order of the 2 and 3. So I'm gonna shuffle a little bit more. That's funny.
Okay. was the Prince of Cups. I wanted to make sure because it's got 2 cups on it, so and there's no words. I just want to make sure I'm not pulling the wrong card and I go to the right place. Scarlet, woohoo!
Scarlet Bill.
You made it. We're almost done, but you made it, and that's all that matters.
Thank you for stopping by.
So yeah, the Prince of Cups. This is going to be interesting because when you think of the Prince of where he fits out on the grand scheme of the court cards, he's going to be number 2 in the court. This is like your knight or your knave. And Prince of Cups is a really fun card to have. Very jovial in emotions, but also kind of immature. Doesn't necessarily know what he wants to do, how he wants to do it, but just knows that he wants to do it. So he is on a mission. He's got some things in mind, some things that are very important to him emotionally, some things that are in his heart, and this would be you, Doug. Because court cards represent people to me, and usually the querent when it's a first card. So he's really talking about, I have these things, I want to do them, there's great ideas, the things feel good, I feel happy about them, but he's a little immature with them and doesn't necessarily know how to make them come about or make them work or do. So this is a self-discovery card of really going through emotions and emotional intelligence and thinking, what is it that I need to do to make sure that I am fulfilled with the things that I'm trying to work through. So that is going to be an important one, I think, to kind of keep track of and to follow through with. Best way to elevate from the Prince of Cups or any of the princes is study experience. Because you've done the studying. You need to now experience the thing. Even if you're not comfortable with something, you need to experience the thing or whatever it is that you're thinking about or wanting to do. And then once you experience it, that's how you elevate to the Queen and King, is through that experience. So that's card number 1. Rook is going to hit your card number 2.
I really need to carry this deck with me this week, too.
Yeah. I hope that speaks to you. It gives you some insight, but that's going to take some work. I love the princes, and I say I love the princes. I don't have any decks that uses princes.
I like that term.
Yeah, I love the knight.
Titles, yeah.
The knight cards. They're studious. They've studied. They've got the stuff together. It's just they know what to do. They just haven't put it into practice yet, and that's what you do. You practice it, and you work it through, and then you work to be the king, right? Because that's where the prince's track is supposedly through to the king, who is the organizer of all those things. Within the ultimate card in every deck is the queen. Because the queen is who ropes all of it together. I've just never seen it as a prince before.
I'm going to pull that out because it tried to slide out on me.
Yeah. And while we're waiting for Rook to pull your second card, Doug, Paranormal, I didn't see if you wanted to read or not. I'm fine if you don't. Just wanted to double check and make sure I didn't miss it. And hopefully we don't lose power, because we lose power a lot, but it is shaky. It was dark. I can't believe how dark it is outside. Yeah, and that, Doug, that's really common.
For me.
Really common for the knights and all of those things, because they have the ideas and the thoughts and everything that they need. They just haven't made it to that experiential level, and that's kind of what will hold you back. So just pick an experience and do it and see how it feels. So.
I don't know if you can see it. 2 of Pentacles, and I love the Pentacles because to me it's about work, and you might need to work with someone to make something happen. To me, this is more of a for something in the physical realm, like a project, but I also hate that they use Pentacles because that symbol's so magical to me. I think it could be also working with someone on a magical work, but usually if you go by this standard, whatever that is, it means coming together with a partnership on a project. But to me, what I get intuitively, this is not something for mundane. It is more of coming together with someone to work on something for spiritual or spiritual growth. I just don't get a physical, typical meaning for this card. And that's what I had.
All right. I like twos.
I love twos, yeah.
Twos in general, just for me when I'm reading, a lot of times they represent making a choice. Mm-hmm. Because you have a yes or a no, a 1 or a 2 or 0, a on or off, right? And so that's kind of how I see the twos a lot. And in the Pentacles, it's almost looking at the two sides of the as above, so below. And just because something is spiritual doesn't mean it doesn't need to be brought into the magic or the mundane plane, because that's where we're trying to get to anyway. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't get like an earthly project on this. Maybe
it's a pretty card too.
Working in the earth, because we live here, but I get more of a spiritual tone to this one.
Yes.
I'm sure they've seen that.
You're welcome.
What
All right.
Okay.
So we have a few more minutes. We'll go to 10 more minutes until 1:30, I think. If you asked for us to pull a card, we'll each pull a card for you. If we missed you saying yes, just pop your name back in there so we'll remember to pull one. Or if you want one to be pulled, just pop your name. Say me. But we forgot to talk about the Salem thing.
That's very important.
That was your article.
Well, I can't take credit. Who brought my attention to it was Paranormal Witch. And so in Salem, at the Satanic Temple, the Satanic Temple as a whole does not worship a deity of Satan. They are a political organization that really fights for political causes. But I'm sure they take the name Satanic Temple to get attention, to draw attention. That's their purpose. Anyway, Paranormal Witch, you can fill in on when this happened. But a man was caught on a ring door.
Week and a half ago?
A man was caught walking across the street pouring lighter fluid on the front steps of the Satanic Temple and lighting it on fire. And there were people inside that luckily weren't hurt. They weren't hurt, but they could have been.
Yeah, that's scary.
And he was wearing a T-shirt that said God on it. Which God, I don't know, but it said God.
Yeah, and so I know Malice and I had a little bit of a conversation about this too at one point. Because all right, these are hard to shuffle for me.
I will get for you.
Oh, thank you.
And I will use the pot.
All right. We'll hurry back because we got another 2 more to do when you get back. Put this back in the right way. So people were inside and somebody, he admitted to do it too. And he's like, I lit the place on fire because they're devil worshippers. And that's, something. But anyway, that's what it was. I was talking to Malice and we're kind of saying how terrible it is. We knew this was going to happen. Something like that's going to continue to happen. And it kind of reminded me that stuff's been happening forever. It reminded me back in 1997, I think it was, maybe 98. I was in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, where I'm from, and there was a little bookstore called Lambda Rising. And this little bookstore was one of the only safe places that I ever felt as a young person growing up, LGBTQIA+++++, right? And we would go in there and we would have meetings. We had group meetings where we could talk to people. We had a great leader that would just kind of help us through stuff and communicate and do things. It was really cool. Thanks, Melvin, for stopping by. I'm glad you did. We will see you again soon, I am sure. And one day we were in the bookshop and we're just meeting and doing our thing, and somebody throws in a bottle full of alcohol that was lit and lit the bookstore on fire. And I remember how intrusive that felt, that my only safe place that I'd ever really had up to that point was a target for something like being gay, or because of what you believe in, or what people think you are when they're not even accurate. And so that's... Sorry, somebody running down the street in the middle of the rain and the lightning. Looks like it's about to really, yep, there it goes. We are in full storm mode again. But it's really, really, really frustrating, just to see that and know that people are still going through that at this point. It's just ridiculous. It just doesn't even make sense to me. But yeah, so that's where we are. Scarlett, you are up, and then Melissa will pull a card for you. Well, 2, because I'll pull 1 and Rook will pull 1. And then we are going to have to call it after that, I think, unless Paranormal, if you do want one, we will still pull for you, of course. But we're going to have to call it after that, because we're an hour over just about already. So Mel had to dip.
Bye, Mel. Thank you for your visit, sir.
It's already 1:30. The power rain has started, and I am going to pull for Scarlet, and then you will, if you're ready. I think hopefully this week, by next week, we'll have our setup for a place to put all of our tarot cards so they can be seen a little bit easier. Nope, you do not have to wait, my dear.
I would turn that camera around if I thought it would pick up the rain.
Yeah, probably.
Here comes the rain again. Falling on my head like a melody. What you got? What you know? Whoop, whoop.
It does not look like a coin, but I guess it is.
You got them kerns?
Yeah, so this is the 3 of coins.
Oh, who is this for?
No, Scarlet.
Oh, what about, did Melissa went with?
Scarlet, then Melissa, then Paranormal.
Gotcha.
I missed Paranormal, I think, earlier. So hey, adding her to the end, but we're going to do her a reading. We might even pull 3 cards for her, just because she's awesome.
She's so good.
But yeah, so does that look like a coin to you? It looks like a flower.
It looks like corn, a flower, and then a corn stalk around the edges, the leaves that you would shuck and pull.
No, ma'am, sir, you are wrong.
I'm not wrong. I see what I see.
So Scarlet, I got the 3 of coins, and this is in the Alcet Gypsy Tarot. I had to look it up. This tarot does not use images on the Minor Arcana hip cards, and I just threw it on the floor. So, I have to look it up because it doesn't look like it. I guess that's a coin, but it does not look like coins to me. 3 of coins, according to Rook here. All right, I'm getting too fat for this stuff.
No, shadow work would tell you to say, I feel bigger than the chair, but I'm working on it. That didn't come out at all like I meant. Oh, that didn't come out like I meant.
I hear you. Hey, dog's gonna get a little barky with all of the thunder. So, yeah, we're gonna let that go. So Scarlett, I got the 3 of coins for you.
Yes, let me show her.
3 to me, 3s are probably the best number in the tarot. Like as far as positivity goes, because good things come in 3s, in my personal opinion. But in this particular case, we all know you're working hard on something, right? A lot of stuff. But that 3 of coins is telling us that whatever we're working on, we are about to reap a benefit from it. We are in the right track. We are putting in the hard work, and we're going to have what it is we're working for if we continue to work for it properly. And so 3 of coins, it goes along with the 8 of coins for me, which is the masterwork card. So the 3 of coins is what drives you to the masterwork in the physical world. So this is generally speaking either having something that's going to provide you money, but it's a physical craft. It's a physical process that's draining physical energy from you. And you're working it, you're processing it through, and it is going to give you a reward bigger than it ever could have been imagined. And that is what a 3 of coins would generally be for me. 3s are probably my favorite number in the tarot deck and numerology, just because
3s?
They can create a triangle or a pyramid shape, right? That's very strong. They can do different things as a shape or as a number. You can have a structure that's sound. You can Have lots of things that are triangle based that make sense. But whatever it is you're working on physically, that hard work is going to pay off also physically. I think a lot of people probably see Three of Coins as like a new job too. I've heard that. It can mean new jobs or a new position that's going to be much more aligned to your lifestyle in the world. Rook, it's your turn.
So that's weird that they called that coins.
Yeah, it didn't look like a coin
Yeah,
to me.
it didn't look like
It
coins.
looked like a flower, so I was thinking, is it blooms? Maybe it's a cups
Definitely.
card.
Yeah.
So I had to look that one up. And just for the recommendations, everybody should have a wooden penis on their altar. We have 2.
I'll show those too. Hold on.
I just turned around and saw it. It's a very good reminder of life.
Now, if I get ones, I'm gonna laugh. After you said wooden penis.
Stupid. Full card.
Rods. I am definitely ever the fool, and I love it.
Yeah, it looked like a flower to me.
I'm definitely ever the fool, ever the fool.
It's a neat deck. The Major Arcana is gorgeous in it. Uh-oh.
Well, I really don't.
Yes. We were just talking about this card earlier today. I think it's fair.
Huh. 10 of Swords.
Don't be afraid of the Ten of Swords. Right? When the very first time I meditated on a Ten of Swords, it was the message didn't get delivered. That was what my interpretation was. There was a message that needed to be delivered, and Destiny, World, whatever stepped in and did not allow it to be delivered. But in the end, it wasn't supposed to be. Yeah. What does ruin speak to?
Oh, I didn't even say ruin. To me, it's something of the mind that's going to.
Yes.
A process of the mind that's intelligent. Could be scholarly. I don't know. That's gonna.
Remember, we talked about it too, about going through the pip cards in the Minor Arcana as a journey similar to the Major Arcana. So if you look at the 10 in the Major and you look at the 10 in the Minor, it's a very similar idea process. I like what Scarlett put. I never really saw it specifically as the resolution, but to me it was like the end part of the journey. That's what I always call it. So it's kind of the same thing. So it's not a happy ending. Like as far as it doesn't feel good when it happens, but it happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Oof. That could definitely be it, because again, Minor Arcana, we're not looking at big things. We're looking at little bits and pieces.
Ooh, that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
And swords are all about communication too.
It's definitely intelligence, or that makes a lot of sense. Ghost manifestation. Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I had my first therapy session Friday.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Yeah.
That's good. I think therapy is important. I think everybody should do it.
I think everybody should do therapy.
So we went from 3 of Coins base energy to 10 of Swords. That's a pretty poignant jump. Because you can look at how does the 3 of Coins augment the 10 of Swords, right? The conclusion of something needing to end. Again, the first time I meditated on it, 10 of Swords was a message that couldn't be delivered. And a lot of people see it as a complete failure or ending of something, but
the miscommunication makes sense to me with what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah. I like that. And then we have Melissa.
Yeah, thank you.
Good name. That's my sister's name.
Oh, I love it.
I used to call her Weef Weef, don't ask. So my first card I pulled for you is actually the King of Swords.
Ooh,
So
let me see.
what energy I'm getting from you? Hello, Malice.
No, let's see.
What I'm getting for you, Melissa, really is this this King energy in your life. So this is one of two things for me. It is a court card, either representative of you or somebody in your life that's going to bring energy into what it is that you are working on and you are doing. In the world where we are at right now, with everything going on, my bet is that the King and kind of what I'm feeling is about you. And so this is telling you to start maybe placing a little bit more validity on your own interpretation of something. So it's not really the same as self-doubt, because self-doubt to me is a little bit more of a cups energy or an emotional energy. But from the swords, it's knowing that what you know is what you know, and it is comfortable, and you are 100% in it. It reminds me of advice that I was given, and that advice is, if you have to make a decision, the best decision you can make is a decision. There's nothing wrong with making a decision that ultimately feels like it's not the right decision, but making no decision is always the wrong decision, right?
And it is a decision.
Now, the thing, right, and that's the thing, it's still a choice. So it doesn't take out your ability to choose, and I'm not saying that sometimes not, waiting isn't a bad idea, but that's not what the King is saying. The King is saying right now you've got things that you know and that feel good to you and that you are confident in, and you need to remember to be confident in them and not second guess them. So that would be my little piece for Melissa from the King of all swords.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks for stopping by. Good to have you.
Welcome in, Malice.
Yes.
You are coming in kind of at the end. We are just trying to kind of lay down here the last couple of readings.
What time is your live from the Cauldron Witch? I know I have to add 3 hours because
Yeah.
we're 3 hours ahead.
Uh-huh.
May I ask, fair lady, what time is your live from the Cauldron?
From the Cauldron.
Forgive me, I'm still in a Midsummer Night's Dream
Ugh.
dialect from yet last night.
You have problems. Yeah, so whatever energies for your first card, Melissa, is going on, it's you gotta make sure that you're doing what you're doing and that you're comfortable and confident in what you're doing. The King does not have minced words when he is the King of Swords. His communication is exactly what he says. There's always the potential that this King is representing somebody around you who is not mincing words, and you're wondering if maybe they're being accurate or true with what they're saying to you, and if that's the case, then yes, they are. So,
I don't know why the moon wanted. She jumped out at me. And told me
La
to
Luna.
La Luna.
La Luna.
Oh. This moon looks quite content, though.
She's illuminating the things that need contrast.
Yeah, what was yours? I'm sorry, I was shuffling. Focused
King
on
of
Melissa. King of
Swords.
Hmm.
So really strong masculine male action, be specific, non-mistaken communication verb energy. And now we're throwing in the exact opposite, the underbelly, the illumination, the discrepancy, the hidden.
I would say pay attention to that communication to see if there's something something underlying. If your intuition tells you something ain't right, to follow it.
So knowledge of the King of Swords, the communication, is not mutually exclusive with the moon. With that, it's almost an opposing force,
Right.
but it really isn't. Those things exist together. You have to balance them between what you feel and what you know. The King is definitely saying you know, and the moon is definitely saying illuminate. Make sure that you've uncovered all the pieces.
Yeah, and this one actually, it was a jumper, but she slid out. Like it was like
She
not
slid
a
into your
choice.
DMs.
No, she didn't slide into my DMs. Nobody slid into them for a while.
Yeah, I hear you. Better not.
But she actually did like this, and my hand to me is like, I'm the one, I'm the card. So she was to be picked. The moon, the moon, the moon.
All right. We have one more that I know of.
Who is that?
Paranormal Witch.
P-dubs.
P-dubs. I like that. That's cute.
P-dubs.
P-dubs. All right.
I block out everything I know of P-dubs for this card. All right. Oh, the discs
The
again?
Eight of Corns.
The Eight of Corns?
So we are back to the... yeah, you actually have to cover my face in order for it to work. There you go. Because if you cover my face, it no longer tries to...
oh, wait. This way? Oh, no. This
that way. Yeah. Because then it doesn't try to zoom in on my face as the thing that it's looking for.
Is it even doing it yet? No.
Yeah, no, it is. I can see it crystal clearly. I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
Ooh.
So this is the thing, Paranormal. I really love this card. And guess what? This card is representative of the Sun in Virgo, which is, you know, me. Like, my sun is in Virgo. My moon is also in Virgo. And my rising is my earth sign, so Taurus. But, excuse me. This is all about steady pace, consistent. Things are organized. So Paranormal, you're working on things. We know that you have anxiety with your upcoming issue, and that is the first thing that pops in my head, because this says you've done all of the hard work. You've put all the pieces together. You've done things in the right way. You've organized them. You've put your brain in the right headspace to do what you need to do for the next step in your life. And the Eight of Coins says, you got it. You done it. You did it. It's ready. And it is very clear, you know, that there's no questioning that you've done all that and that you've worked what you need to work to get where you are. So allow it to be. Don't be so afraid of everything that's happening right now around you or what you're getting ready to do. You're prepared. You are fully prepared. Nothing comes up with the sun in Virgo that's not prepared. Let me tell you, that's not something that is in a Sun Virgo's vocabulary. Be prepared is the name of our game. So I would be very strong in saying that you have done everything that you're supposed to do to go through and be successful in the next step. You don't have to worry about it. You will, because you will, but you don't have to.
But remember that High Priestess, I think that was for you earlier too. Mm-hmm. Still make sure you've checked all the boxes, which I think you have. Just double check and you will be fine. I think you really have worked the process, right?
Very much so.
Let's see what I get here.
This is a neat deck.
Miss P-dubs. Yeah, I enjoyed working with some different decks.
Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out whether that was a flower, a piece of corn, or a disc.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. It's a flower corn disc.
Maybe next week these will be more
Shuffleable.
Shuffleable. But they haven't been bad. Alright. Let's Paranormal Witch.
You will. You will be fine.
I'm going to show you. I can't say the word.
Strife? Strife?
Wands.
Oh, wands. Yes, I pick on him very hard for his ones. They're wands. One of the things that I've learned about fives in general is the strife is something that happens no matter what you do, and you have already done it. But the difference in the Five of Wands is that you're kind of allowing it to happen. So you got to stand separate and move into your own space.
Well, I think this too comes from what she dealt with when she couldn't go to school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, was feeling the way I know she was, felt like a big setback or a struggle. hey, look, you're back able to go now. Don't look at that as defeat. If it happens again and tomorrow you can't go to physical school, overcome it, move through it. It's not there to prevent you. It's a roadblock. It seems worse than it is, but you've already pushed through again and again and again and again. And it's just about those things. To me, this card is about those things that come along to try to stump your passion or your work, and you just rise above it, or you go under it, over it, or through it.
Mm-hmm. Really? You kicked it again.
Did I do that?
Okay, tell me which way.
No, don't touch it. Don't touch it. You gotta watch your feet, sir.
Big feet.
Just kidding. So that was
Clumsiness.
it. I think that's it. Is there anybody we missed? I don't want to drop out if we actually missed somebody, but we are way over. We're almost there. So I think what we'll do next week is we're going to try to limit our conversation to about an hour, then start tarot, and then we will continue conversation if we have more. Because I enjoy doing the tarot and pulling the cards. I just have a fun time with it. And if anybody else wants to hop in and pull one, you know what? You can do that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If you want to pull a card for me and Rook, pop it in the chat and say, hey, I pulled a blah, blah, blah for you.
Oh, please. And Paranormal Witch, those 8 people have nothing to do with you. That's things trying to get in your mind and distract you. You go around it, over it, under it, or through it, like you always have. And you're ready.
Yep.
You're ready.
So that will be it for today. So we have been kind of off-centered, Scarlet, because the
Tarot Tattlework. Tarot Shadowwork.
Did you say Sheriff?
Sheriff Tattlework.
Sheriff Tattlework.
Titty bitty liddies.
Let me get, I'm gonna get my thing, a little link here, and I'll post it. So, oh my God, I can't see that far away. I'm getting so old.
So I think she's expressing interest to come in if we do a live review and discussion and interpretation of
The book.
Yeah, and
Yes.
we should be in the next chapter or 2 getting into the actual work, right? It's just been
our
prep.
issue has been we've been off center as far as did it come through right? I think that's our Pondering Pagan Discord. We spend most of our time in the Demon's Den with Mr. Malice because the Mouse podcast is kind of where most of our friends are grouped in. So, but we took a couple of days off. We were preparing for this ritual that we did yesterday and all that stuff. So we have not kept up on all of our episodes. We're releasing episode 2 tomorrow of the pre-recorded, and then we are scheduling. And I don't know exactly when we'll schedule this. But I will reach out to you because I would like you to be involved.
I want her on the live.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'd like to do the live because
she would.
And basically what we were going to do is discuss maybe every 2 or 3 pre-records, have a live discussion of what we're learning about ourselves in the process, kind of thing, and what does that mean overall. So. But yeah, so we're going to try to keep it a little bit shorter next time because this was a long one.
Shoot, it's almost 3 hours and it feels the time went by so quick.
I know.
And we thank you all for spending your time with us. And I want to check out from the Cauldron Witches stream, but I don't know, did she ever say what time?
She said it about 30 minutes when she had posted it, so we're going to look for it when we end.
Sweet. Awesome.
Then the other thing that I was going to say, the pre-records are a little bit more difficult for us to kind of figure out, Scarlett, because I'm usually traveling and we don't know what days we actually are able to do. Like last week before last, when we were supposed to record, I ended up going out with some work friends and doing stuff in Atlanta. Asshole. So that's a little bit harder. That's why we kind of want to do the live and just have people in to kind of discuss it. So the first live we will schedule, but it's going to really be focused on that whole. I think the first 2 chapters is what we'll do. This is the preparation for shadow work? What do you need to do? How do you know when too much is too much? When to seek professional help? That kind of stuff, I think, is going to be the first one. So, but I'll reach out to you and see if we can get a time, because I would love to have that. You tell us when you're if you're available or something like that. So we're not rushing it. We haven't even, like I said, put out the second video. So we are all in time on this one. We're not pushing on anything. But with that, we are going to end. We do need to get off of here and actually go into the other room and sit on the couch. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And then we are going to turn on that mirroring with Instagram and see what we can see with the Cauldron Witch.
And everybody check out From the Cauldron Witch. She's going to go live.
Go
In
live.
3, 2, 1, edit.
Weirdo. Thank you, Paranormal, for being our mod. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in and spending some time with us today. It's much appreciated.
Yeah.
Had a blast, and we will be back next week. Start time 11 o'clock, 10:45 talk.
Be good to yourself and go easy on yourself this week.
Yes. Yeah. Good one. All right. See you later.